the numbers, how much damage taken, and find a way to do the. Because honestly, this is looking like almost a no-win scenario. Actually trading off how many materials they're actually using, how much gold they're actually spending. So the longer and longer this one goes, it's not only that third-party team, because you see in the mini-map, Moneymaker for 9 still lurking around, but it's everything that you're using in this situation, all the resources that it's costing you, to where even if you do get both of the eliminations, not just one, it's still not going to put you in a good spot. It's almost, like I said, a no-win scenario forming right before our very eyes.
Yeah, I think Moneymaker for 9 are actually leaving out so that they can heal without giving away any audio sound effects or something like that, because there has to be a reason they're doubling back and forth as they try to find a clean entry in to lurk up on the team. Now they're coming in from the top down. Avari and Quick, though, look at this, down to their last med kit here, forced to start breaking their way through the builds. This is going to expose them to the outside. F9 and Moneymaker now have to see if they can actually download what's happening here. This extra bit of information is going to be super important for them. Otherwise, they'll be left holding the bag. Look, they actually don't even realize that Quick and Avari have now left the draw.
And they're watching the whole other side. Instead of the same side that they kind of rotated on out. But you can see they found some loot on the outskirts of where they're actually at. They're able to get a couple extra med kits, minis, bigs. Not sure what the mobility is looking like overall, but they're at least in a spot where they do have the luxury to stay a little bit longer. On over towards Calamari Canyon, where we jump in very quickly to see Noxy go down. And it was no Nox. We know him and Dash have been eliminated out of this game.
Big eliminations for King and Kreese. That puts them at 3 now. That's a plus 12 points. If you start with just that, they're inside the top 10 now, jumping up to where Josh and Yamzo would have started the game here. For Acorn, for Bolts, they're off to such a hot start at day 1. The cushion is growing. 318 points separate them from the rest, but I'm looking at that damage meter, looking like it's a bit light here. So options are going to be Oliver OG, but the problem is you have Yamzo in the distance, and remember, Peterbot and Boyo have that tower too, so a lot of potential third parties for Acorn and Bolts can be happening here.
You see what I see, right? But we're both looking at the same thing. And no, I'm not talking about Curve. He is great. We know what it is. The production even sees what I'm seeing. It's the return. The man, the myth, the legend. Higgs has been shoved away. It's the return of Batman Booga. And this is something big right here, because so close under the name Batman Booga so many times, from NA West to Central. He has yet to capture that FNCS championship, and I feel like right now he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. Day 2, a new day for them, and why not bring a familiar name back to the mix?
Honestly, I would have loved to see him even go with Batman Higgs. Let's just merge the two, take the branding all the way, but Batman Booga, what a fun.
When Costco Day comes around, buying Fresh Editions chicken.
Spot.
Muzzin Rise have more eliminations than anyone.
I talked about it yesterday.
Well,
sees what I'm seeing. It's the
Money Infinite in that fight did actually matter for him.
Cushion is growing. 318 points separate.
He was so excited. D, yes, Side, Reese, Muggy, Jack, subscribe to see if you got a free card available. Cost you nothing. You don't want to miss intense fights like we just watched. You don't want to, trust me. You could miss a crazy fight at any second.
A lot of potential third parties for Acorn and Bolts can be happening here.
You see what I see, right?
South Zone.
We're both looking at the same thing. And no, I'm not talking about Curve. He is.
Oh my gosh, it's BB.
What it is. The production even sees what I'm seeing. It's the return. The man, the myth, the legend. Higgs has been shoved away. It's the return of Batman Booga. And this is something big right here, because he
is back.
So close under the name Batman Booga so many times, from NA West to Central. He has yet to capture that FNCS championship, and I feel like right now he's playing with a chip on his shoulder.
I think 4 above's a bit sketchy here, though. 4 above's a bit scary.
Honestly, I would have loved to see him even go with Batman Higgs. Let's just merge the two.
No, this dude.
And Rise with Boji rotating through the storm, getting chased down by Cynic. So a nice free pickup for them. That's a 4-point swing going their way.
Hey. Yeah, that's definitely good, because coming into today, it was 6 points difference between them and first place. Obviously, got to figure out how many eliminations Ritual, Cold, Peterbot, and Poyo have gotten throughout all of this, but they're definitely climbing up as the game continues to progress. Batman going to go down. Curve going against Cold and Ritual. Cold is just going to shut them both down back to back. Batman Booga here in game one along with Curve. They had the most distance traveled over the entire tournament so far, and Cold and Ritual immediately shut it down.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say it's just a really tough fight, right? Like, who wants to fight Cold when they're not below the surge, right? Like, Cold just gets to wait there, get the pre-fire off, and you saw him do it. While that was happening, by the way, F9 did find Sharkman with an elimination, so something has finally concluded for Moneymaker F9. You can see them down to the bottom right. Meanwhile, way up top, clearly, Boyo and Peterbot get first dibs on the rotate here. Using a shockwave, gets off that high ground. This is working out pretty perfectly for them right now.
Yeah, especially compared to some of the games we were seeing yesterday. They're 520 above, but Vendo has gone down to Veer. Ager's literally on a sliver of HP, and it's active surge. He only has a couple of seconds. He can't take a single tick. Veer is buying time right now, and Agers and Veno have gone down. So as it stands, Monster, 5th place, 6th place have both been eliminated.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be in. But if you're everyone else who's, of course, racing for consistency, you're happy to see these spots start to loosen up. Because what you don't want is for them to hold the grips on the leaderboard, right, and continue to gap away. This really does open up opportunity for other players. Meanwhile, Clix and Rapid getting active here in the mid-game, finding themselves a nice little elimination. Well, a lot of notable names I'm still seeing alive here. Yamzo, Josh, King, Craze, Bolts, Acorn, a lot of teams situated pretty strongly now.
Yeah, I just got to see this update here for Acorn and Bolts, 263 above. I know it wasn't too long ago in the same game, we saw them kind of below the damage threshold. But Acorn always peeking for those opportunities. And I think it was Kelly that said it throughout the day yesterday. Even though they're 4th place on the leaderboard, they were just unable to really make a lot of these games count as a duo. They really made them count as a solo, but we know what the difference in numbers makes, especially if you're a team like this that knows how to play for that high ground. You just can't do it alone most times.
Yeah, look at this. Somehow, Moneymaker F9 are 120 above when they only got that singular elimination that we saw in the feed there. Just shows you the importance of also not taking damage in your journey. Meanwhile, Cold and Ritual, though, just doing big things here. It's really funny that in the highlights, you know, when Kelly did the breakdown for this team, she mentioned that they get these eliminations. They do not greed for the resources, though, but they also don't desperately find themselves needing it every single time. Even here and now, they are max material coming into this big moving zone.
Yeah, and I think it's something that Ritual just deserves a lot of credit on, you know, just being able to kind of go through trios, now back to duos, and be the IGO, and somebody they can kind of lean hard on, especially in these tough situations where you don't necessarily know at all times where you're going to get your surge, where they did go down, I think Vivid said 46th place to start the game, and they're still looking as strong as ever. See Victor V and Queasy not straying away from their strategy. They tried it yesterday. They did it in heats, going for high ground majority of the time, but they're 88 below the damage threshold. There's a lot of opportunity up here for them to go ahead and strike down on anybody shockwaving on, but they have to be quick because it's active surge.
Yeah, this is super important for them right now. I also didn't see many heals, so they've already healed through the majority of the last couple of surge ticks, and now they're forced to jump on a team, and it's Peterbot and Boyo. Or on the other side, Peterbot just hits a monster shot. So does Boyo, and they take down Victor V and Queasy on the line where placement points were being issued out. I almost wish they would have gotten active a little bit sooner, especially when you saw 7 players standing between you and the surge turning off. It's just a long ways, but look at this. This is looking like a win situation for Peterbot and Boyo. The only team that has arguably gone for height every game that they possibly could has now lost that resistance, or better yet, beat them on the high ground here.
Yeah, that high ground counter is definitely going to reach 10 minutes after this game, but Clix and Rapid falling under the radar so far in this game. I think that's a blessing for them. Not taking too much focus from everybody. We saw Rapid's first elimination kind of getting them going. Now we're getting into the placement points, top 22. It's not much as of now, but we know teams will start to drop like flies, and those placement points will start to fly in as they rotate toward the front side of the zone. They're waiting for it to open up on the right side, which gives them a little less pressure to deal with.
Names I'm seeing here, Golden and Ozone on the backside of zone. Ritual, Cold here, 5 eliminations now, working the mid-ground lane. They're getting targeted, though, by a few different teams here. They will have to sort of soldier their way through all these old builds. Peter Boyo still maintaining control of the high ground. I'm seeing glimpses of Shadow and Virgo as well, still standing here, trying to make a comeback for themselves, but take a look at this. Cole dropping all of his material here for Ritual. Although he's going to try to stick this pickup, it's going to cost him a bit.
So they got to run.
They makes it. Ooh, barely, but they're in.
Beeline it there, just 10 HP for Cold. The surviving is surviving. Saw Muzz and Rise in the backside of zone, so it doesn't look like it's smooth sailing for Peter Button Poyo just yet. Fanaya's gonna go down. Moneymaker still finds an Elim. He gets the Elim on the Acorn though, separating him and Bolts once again. But Moneymaker, it's your chance to make your name true, make that money, but he goes down. Peter Button Poyo are gonna fall from grace as well, and it's Shadow and Virgo the ones that take it all.
Yeah, it looks like Muzz and Rise might have attempted it as well. You saw them falling there too. So a scrappy battle up top. Peter Boyo ended up playing the price. Poyo now left by himself, but in the end, Shadow and Virgo remain victorious with the high ground. Meanwhile, Cold still trying to pull off a solo clutch here for himself.
Where's
Now
Clicks,
he's
bro?
at 10 points earned this game already. Meanwhile, Virgo and Shadow holding things down on the high ground. Alvaro G, Belly Boss think they're going to come up and contest the best here, but nope, it's Poyo who still wants to have a piece of this fight.
This
I
went
take
down.
so much damage. I'm like, what duo is next to go to the high ground? And it's Poyo by himself. And that's something that he loves to do. Go to the high ground as a solo and let everybody else down below deal with that mess. But as of now, it's Shadow and Virgo that are going to stand tall. Clicks and Rapid get a second elimination in this game and timed perfectly because they desperately needed those materials to continue looking strong here.
A very big game right now for Clicks and Rapid, almost a top 10. The Boyo still has to be taken out here. He's working his way through the low ground now, jumping down, just trying to stay out of the line of sight of the opponents. Doesn't even have time to pop his heels. He could, he would, but he's more desperately trying to avoid the storm here.
Just weaving in and out of these builds. Whatever we watch, it's like the game is moving in slow motion for him. And now Poyo clicks one-on-one. Poyo goes down. That's Ozone who steals away that elimination. Now everybody is sending up towards height. Shadow is gone. Virgo is down to a sliver of HP. Doesn't even make it back in. And out of nowhere, it's Dozier and Ishu that are stealing away the momentum here.
And don't forget, Dozier and Ishu had a very, very tough day one, losing their off spawn. Finally, though, when they get let loose, they are running things up, but so are Iamzo and the low ground. But take a look at this. Just a little update. 8 eliminations for Josh and Iamzo here as they are cooking things up down low. And now they've actually secured just enough material to do something big here.
They were literally one placement outside of the Globo's bubble. You gotta imagine they're inside of it now and looking to head even further up that leaderboard. Our final 2v2. Dozier's gonna get shut down first. Iamzo and Josh win game number 1. 11 eliminations to start the day off hot.
A huge, huge moment for them right there to be battling from the low ground and turn things around and then secure the win when it matters most. And honestly, with how fired up they look there, Zeke, that was the way you execute.
NBF, I am shocked after that game result. I feel like there was so many different ways that game could have ended. For a while, I was like, oh, Peter Boyo, they're up on the high ground. But then Shadow Virgo push out, and I'm like, oh, wait, hold on, what's going on? And then Dozier and Ishu go, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then Josh and Iamzo from the low ground. 11 elimination victory royale on the hardest day of the competition to kick off game number 7. Kelly, oh my gosh, momentum is going brr.
Listen, I think we need to give a big thank you to Reet and Cooper for winning the Wonky Land off spawn first to 10, because I think that might be a key to the success of Josh and Iamzo right now. We've seen them have major success at Wonky Land, but what they're doing right now in the early and mid game, and Vivid, you broke it down perfectly, and then being able to convert that into these perfect end games absolutely incredible. And I do have to feel like just because of how vertical that height was, there were so many layers and not too many people actually on that low ground except for Iamzo and Josh. So when these players had to kind of drop down, when they got a little scared, they were able to just clean it up so easily because they were the only ones there, and they were able to just pick up so much loot because of that.
You know, we were kind of watching the game. Obviously, me, Zeke, and Kelly, and we were kind of talking about it, whatever. And Zeke was like, "Man, it kind of seems like everybody's like sleeping." You know what I mean? Everybody needs to like wake up a little bit here. I can tell you right now, Josh looks like he is very clearly awake because he was moving just absolutely phenomenally in that end game. But I also want to go ahead and mention, you gotta imagine, we constantly talk about the differences between day one and day two when it comes down to these types of competitions. Josh and Iamzo came into this weekend kind of expecting to go wonky land, and then of course they kind of like lost the rights to actually land there. And then they kind of came into them like, oh, we're going to be contested by Seek and Taki over here at the split to the left of Clicks and Rapid, but now they're going to be uncontested. So now that they're kind of coming into day number two, you got to imagine last night they probably prepared around the fact that they are now uncon, and immediately that preparation, I would imagine, is starting to pay off with a game one victory royale.
Crazy stuff. I feel like I gotta go watch Faxity's reaction to that result. Man, a massive shock and a massive W for them. How does that impact the leaderboard? We'll find out after a short break. We'll see in just a moment.
Milk can help you grow. Milk test prevents your ride from blasting into space.
Man, oh man. Game number one was as chaotic as I had hoped it to be. And if you missed it, Josh and Iamzo got themselves an 11 elimination victory royale in the first game of the day. We do have 5 more games to go. Nobody freak out. But as we turn attention to the leaderboard, this is a massive W for them. They have jumped up so many places, and now they find themselves in the top 5. That, Kelly, is why we say one game can really change everything.
I love to see it. Out of all of the teams that we had play in Major 1, there's only a handful that stuck together. And Josh and Iamzo is one of the only ones that didn't get a global champion qualification and still remain together. And you can see why that's so important, the synergy, the understanding. But I'm going to be a little bit honest. I like to write notes while I'm watching these games. And around Zone 2, I wrote Iamzo with great loot. And then that's the rest that I have. We weren't really able to watch them until the final moments because so much was going on in those end games. And obviously, I know a lot of people were looking to Peterbot and Poyo, who were able to take high ground really early. And then, of course, it came down to that solo from Polo. We thought we were going to maybe see another Summit Land performance, but it did go a little bit less like that. However, Vivid, you called it out during the break that Peterbot and Ritual are just 1 point away from each other still after that last game.
Incredible that we're kind of remaining very, very close towards the top of the leaderboard. And, kind of taking a look at that leaderboard when we were looking at it. Actually, I'll bring that in just a moment as we do see Peterbot play. It looked like this is actually going to be a good game for them because they had the high ground. As you can see here, Peterbot just quickly caught off guard. And I won't lie, high ground got a little chaotic this game. I mean, we saw obviously Peter Poyo up there. Wheezy and Victor Ree were kind of fighting them for it at one point. Shadow and Virgo went for it at one point. We saw Oliver OG sending it up there as well. So high ground was a little bit crazy. But talking about this leaderboard right now, obviously we came into the day, and I just want to talk about the top 5 kind of coming into the day and how they placed in game number 7 here, because it has opened up the door a lot. So Pete and Poyo, that kind of came in today. They were first place. They got 9th that game. Ritual and Cold, they got 15th that game. Muzz, 16th. Acorn and Bolts, 17th. And then Higgs and Kurt, they got 36. So all of our teams that came into today in the top 5 on the leaderboard barely broke into the top 10 at all. I mean, Pete and Poyo were the only ones who actually do that. And it was just on the back foot of Poyo solo clutches. So the door has been open for all teams to kind of catch up. And, we take a look at it here for Ritual and Cold. I'm not going to lie, I thought Cold was going to pick up 10 eliminations. That's what I was kind of calling for. You blink and you might have missed it. They just ended up being so shambles on the backside of the zone because Ritual was actually forced to go ahead for a res onto Cold at one point.
I mean, when you see Cold practically get a 1v2 onto Higgs and Curve, I can totally understand why you thought they were going to be walking away with a 10 elimination game there. But unfortunately, there's just only so much you can predict, especially with Ritual and Cold, who kind of like to box up a little bit and wait for everyone to rotate in front of them to get those eliminations. Eventually, if you're not kind of super focused, laser it in on all the players rotating in front of you, you're not going to pay attention behind you. And if you just get caught out by a really big team, they're just going to get those eliminations quickly. But it's Cold and Ritual. If anyone's going to be able to bounce back, and I don't know how much bouncing back they're going to do because of how high up they are, it's going to be this duo.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see that top 4 didn't shift at all, right? Peterbot, Poyo, Ritual, Cold, Buzz, and Rise in that last game. You did call out, Viv. They did find, they only made it to 16th place, rather, but they did find 3 eliminations, so they are still trying to make up those points. Again, I'm trying, I want to be critical, right? Because this is day number 2. This is that moment where we are fighting for an Axe of Champions. We can't really make mistakes, but, Viv, I'm having trouble, especially because it's just the first game. There is always that feeler game that we just need to come into, see how the lobby's kind of taken or adjustments they've made, and then, take it from there.
I mean, without a doubt, our top 4, we're taking a look at them. Acorn and Bolt still kind of maintained to their 4th place as well. But that being said, Acorn and Bolts, they're on 348. And remember how I was kind of mentioning with all of our kind of top 5 teams doing a little bit poorly this game in comparison to how they were doing yesterday. Josh and Iamzo are kind of the best example to use here because Josh and Iamzo came into the day 19th place, around 220 points. They're now sitting on 327 points. So that game alone was around 100 points for them. And they were behind 100 plus points from Acorn and Bolts yesterday, but now they are only 21 points behind, sitting in 5th place. So yeah, these top 4 teams kind of sitting up there. They've got a little lead, but it has gone down tremendously after game number 7.
I honestly, Zeke, this is just game number 1 of day number 2. We have 5 more games to go. And honestly, the fact that we had so many of our bigger teams kind of fall down early, I love that. I want everyone in the top 10 to just be so close. I don't want to know who's going to win, who's going to go to globals until the final game.
That was their plan. They're like, hey guys, just let's everybody just chill out, just feel their game. That's actually not what happened. That's not what happened at all. We'll have to see though how things shake out. 5 games left to go. With that being said, it is that time once again. The game is ready for us. So casters, be you.
Yeah, so this one's going to be an interesting day as it does continue because 1 point is different. And if you look at the stats, there's one Elam better for Peterbot and Poyo over Cold and Ritual, but they have just a little bit more consistency. Both teams having trouble with Surge at certain points in the game. This one is probably one of the best FNCSs in a while.
Yeah, really tough to go ahead and crack the case that is Cold and Ritual so consistent, lurking in the distance, and we don't really follow their early game story too much, so they come up out of nowhere, but sounds like Game 8 is ready. Let's do it.
You know, it's not only the gap for first place that I'm looking at. As I go down the leaderboard, I try to count the teams that already have global spots secured, the ones who don't. Even that bubble for the global championship spot is just so close. Like Kelly said, I want to see this one go down to the very last game with everything on the line.
Yeah, the way this leaderboard is headed, it surely will do just that. But there was already a couple upsets from that last game, right? You have the Higgs and Curve dropping early. You have the Aegis and Veno falling prematurely as well. So a lot happening there. As we jump in with Dozier and Ishu, they seem to have just figured things out off the drop. A monstrous first game to kick things off, that second place giving them the momentum. And now that confidence comes surging in here as they drop their competition out the gate with no problems.
Like, I know we have big plans for the day, Brother Moneymaker and for that. We have big plans, right?
I like
and
it.
One thing I learned over my time on this earth, is in order to be the best, you have to beat the best. And Ryan and Moneymaker right now are definitely ready for a handful, and it works! It works! Down goes Peterbot. Now Poyo is left by himself with Moneymaker and Fernayan looking for him.
This is crazy. They have managed to successfully take down the second place team as well earlier in the competition in day one, and now they're targeting our number one, Peterbot and Poyo. Poyo's by himself. We've already given Poyo so much credit as far as what he is capable of as an individual player, but even with all that star fighting power, is it going to be enough to hold back Nine Moneymaker? Well, look at things from Peterbot's perspective. He gets hit with a major surprise.
There's literally nothing he could have. As soon as he took the porta potty teleporter, he was just done. They coned him off. They boxed it. There was no builds able to be placed. Even if somehow Peterbot one shot tagged one of them down, it's still a 2v1. So Moneymaker for 9 still affecting the lobby all around. And it's almost a must, right? Because you kind of close out the day yesterday, 49th place for the most part, 18th place to start the day with 2 eliminations. So they need something to get back on track. And take it down, Pete, that could be just it.
What's crazy about it too is like they just slowly influence all the teams' overall tournaments, right? Like these little things that they're doing is really having ripple effects, I think, across the entire competition. And that's why you have even people like Muzz, Rise, Acorn, Bolts still having this creeper like way up the leaderboards right now. All in all, I mean, I'm impressed, right? I'm really genuinely impressed with what Moneymaker and Fernan have done on this region.
Yeah, I blame Veno and Queasy. Remember the Invitational? They're the ones who started it all. Peterbot popularized it, and now I feel like everybody is incorporating it into the game plan. Rightfully so. I know it was only a 1-point difference, but if you're one of those teams that are a little bit further down the leaderboard, the only way to stop such a consistent team is maybe to take matters into your own hands. That's exactly what they're doing. Batman Buddha and Curve, aka Higgs and Curve this time around, just lurking off their mountain a little bit towards that team down below, which was Paper and Zen. Again, just trying to get some early game surge. They have some of the most distance traveled on the map throughout the entirety of this tournament, so surge is a primary factor of the game.
Let's go, Clicks!
I just want to say, whoever's editing, Moneymaker F9's video for the post-tournament, they're going to have the best post-tournament recap.
We're fucking deadlocked. We're not winning shit.
Win or lose, doesn't matter.
We're deadlocked.
We're going to have the best highlights.
We're not winning shit.
Sure.
Fuck ass ass. We're not winning shit.
Slow and steady for Clicks and Rapping over on this side.
But let's go, Clicks.
For the most part, outside of that left building.
At least get top 5.
And which I think kind of puts a little bit
gets
of
top
a
5, not
in their
bad. Top
path, as we
fucking
kind of take a
20.
quick look at King Craze. Vert just gets lurked on. Literally, this is just lurk after lurk so far in this game. Just key way to get eliminations. But as I was saying, Clicks and Rapid coming into the tournament, they practiced a lot with that cube, able to kind of bounce them far to get eliminations. With Josh and Iamzo landing there, they don't necessarily have that same comfortability to use that as a part of their strategy.
Facts.
Yeah, they've almost forgone that as a part of the strat. And again, that's just because you don't want to really cross their paths, right? Or leave yourself exposed to them.
Yeah.
Just rotate. Acorn Bullets, though, face a little bit of resistance from Curly and
Muzz
Jargoop.
and
They're also
Rise.
forced to disengage, give up the high ground position that they probably want to set up for. Muzz and Rise on the other side. Back to their trusty and true strat. They haven't really changed much, right? This team has almost consistently played these towers, and it's just worked out for them.
Yeah, you can kind of see double ARs. Typically, they kind of switch that for a pistol if they can later on in the game, or something that kind of shoots just a little bit quicker, just in case they get in those box-to-box scenarios. But this is what they're doing almost every single game, like you're saying. They're just accumulating as much surge as possible before they're forced to move out by the zone. But even then, they let all these other teams that are further back from them rotate first, and they use that as a way to just continue to get damage. As you jump on board, Poyo here for a moment, still wandering around as a solo. You gotta imagine he has enough gold, but where the zone is going plays a huge role in if he's able to safely get the reboot back or not.
I do not want
Yeah,
Boyo
definitely, as Webster has rotated into this drop. Again, Boyo is still one of the deadliest, right? If he just catches this lurk plane, it works successfully. He can very much confidently take down whatever's left of any duo.
Someone kill him.
He's kind of lurking around here. You still see F9 staying in the distance there.
Fuck yeah.
They're not looking to give away a free reboot to Peterbot by any means. You got to respect that tenacity, right? That consistency here from them. They've almost even taken their strategy. They're like, yeah, we're the kings of the drop. Let's go and build our search tower here as well. I can respect that.
Continued action all around, though. Aoxy, Jojo Fishy trying to make up for that last game. You can kind of see the first drop is going to happen. Jojo Fishy's going to quickly get cleaned up. Not a lot of damage onto Veno and Aegis, so far this being a true win, Surge included, especially now that they have Aoxy on the back. Veno trying to spray from up above. Again, the Spire rifles, the amount of time you could just continuously spray, it's just very, very so much a nuisance, especially for somebody that is a solo, as Veno and Aegis finally attack from both sides, but it's not going to work. Veno's going to get dropped first. Aoxy actually does get the cleanup before falling, so some damage to slow down the roll that Aegis and Veno have been on.
Look at that in the distance. You see Victor V and Queasy as well. I wonder what they're thinking as they're hearing these shots go off here, as close as they were. The Boyo, Webster encrypted. We talked about that lurk play from Boyo here. He's setting up a 2v1. He's saying, screw the lurk. I'm here to take this fight. He's doing it very much confidently. As this is happening, though, I'm looking at other teams kind of point their arrows in this direction. So there are other people interested in what might be happening here.
Yeah, outside of Poyo, you're right. 5 teams directly in Sinister Strip, a 6 on the outside. As CDZ and Nut come in this direction, they are lurking right behind, so they have no clue another team is this close. Literally just 1 box away, and Poyo's being persistent here. He knows, like, I need damage. I need a certain amount of loot, especially since I'm inside of the zone. If they see a solo trying to shockwave away, you know players will tend to chase after that for the eliminations here. But Webster Encrypted doing a good job of holding their ground here, not giving up any inches to Poyo, or at least not just yet, because that shot's certainly going to connect.
Yeah, I think what's more important is that they're slowly backing him down, and he's getting closer and closer to CDC and Nut, or just outside. So Boyo's likely, I was going to say, probably going to disengage here soon. He's going to do enough damage, look to back out, or CDC and Nut are going to catch a glimpse of what's happening. They're going to say, wait a second, he's by himself, and then capitalize on the elimination.
Yeah, you can kind of see Poyo realizing using so many materials here. He's going to disengage from the backside of Sinister Strip. Exactly what we were talking about. Spotted out as a solo. So much damage. A sliver of HP. That's all that's left. Nut and CDZ get slowed down for a short moment. The third party is coming to pour in this direction, and they're still going to solidify the elimination nonetheless. But now they're the next target here at this south side of Sinister.
Well, Boyo and Peterbot fall in 40th place there, so Boyo's effort was amazing, but not good enough to push him through the impossible task, honestly, considering how many teams got to his drop there. Josh Iamzo on the other side playing much, much more safe here, very passively holding down this metal fortress. That's going to leave Ritual and Cold here with an exceptional amount of runway to go now. And think about it, they've been so consistent, right? Basically matching bar for bar on average elims and placement points.
No, this is their
Bro, I do
chance.
not want
only
Peter Box
take
to win,
first,
bro.
but hopefully start to build a little bit of a cushion.
That ass, bro. I do not want Peter Box to win. I want Higgs to win or somebody else. I do not want Peter Box to win.
We're into 5th place overall from outside of that Global's bubble to inside.
Hell no, I do not
And they
want
have
Peter
the
Box to
same
win.
strategy. You know, as a lot of teams that do land at that spot, that kind of half sunken,
I do
they
not want
immediately
Peter
rotate
Box
over towards this vending machine,
Dino
where they're
to
getting
win,
a
bro.
lot of their metal. Obviously,
want
with the gold, that's how they're replenishing their loadout for the actual
Curvin
heals. So
Higgs.
Josh Niamzo just sticking to what isn't
Or-
broken.
Cold and Rob.
The thing to think about for Virgo
Ritual.
and Shadow is that although they had a slow day
To
one, they are picking things up.
Come on,
There's
Annie,
strong
wake up.
pace here in day number 2. That
Game
big
8.
7th
This is the
place
first game
that
I-
they managed
No,
to
this is
pull
not the
off
first-
has effectively
This is the
put them
second game of
in
the day.
bubble, knocking on the door for a qualification spot.
Come on, Annie.
Again, not that they necessarily need it, but again, if they get to push other teams out, things start to open up.
Yeah, more and more eliminations that they get. Even King and Craze here, if they're able to catch fire, they're inside of that bubble. They're going to create that roll down effect. But even with them
Come on,
creating
NA,
that roll
come
down
on, come
effect,
on, come on.
every elimination they get on somebody outside of the bubble, they're essentially
Glitch is winning
hurting
that
their
shit.
chances. They're siphoning points away from teams that do need it. So again, even if they got their global championship spot secured, there's so much for them not only to play for, but impact here in this lobby as we check on
I
board
look he want
second
Clay
place.
to qualify.
I say
Or
that
the
with
global
knowing like
championship.
just one placement point, one elimination would bounce them right into first. 306 above the damage threshold. It's not necessarily a mountain of damage that they're gonna be everybody else, but they're definitely setting their path forward.
And almost using it as bait to find tags on the way.
Hold on, Jared.
And again, so Nine and Moneymaker kind of take up Peterbot and Boyle's strategy too. I'm thinking that their prep is in obviously the lurk, but then okay, if we take down the team we are lurking on, what do they normally do? As they just adopt the strategy. They almost become the team, basically. It's a very interesting way to play the game.
I mean, I would follow those same strategies too, especially if I got that elimination onto Peterbot. Especially with both of them going down, but I did see this in the feed. Acorn dropped, Void dropped. It was a trade 1-for-1, but with no eliminations, the revive is going to come back through. And so for Acorn and Bolts, they just got to reset here in this situation. But be careful because Veno and Ager's doing it again. This is literally the same strategy for the most part that Veno used to come back from a 100-point deficit to win Major 1.
Oh, what a tough spot to be in though. Agers, as he opens up fire, Acorn edits the window and finds him there. And now they're looking to finish the deed here. This is a really big elimination. This is actually a potential pace changing elim for them right now. Venom falls here and now. This is going to be 2 back-to-back games where they get taken out early.
And you kind of see him just toying with the idea, do I go for the revive? I got to try to heal up. Acorn and Bolts are staring me down. So Ager's not going to be rescued, at least not here and now. Veno needs a rope
Oh my God,
before
full box.
going down. Acorn and Bolts, this could be the game. We were talking about it. It happened again in that last game that they stay alive as a duo, but I might have just cursed them. Javi and Aminish out of nowhere, probably hearing the noise. They want to join in on the fun.
Yeah, and someone else does as well. Look, there's a fresh team coming in pretty aggressively as they need the extra damage here. Javi and Aminish are going to look to disengage instead. Not wanting to fight against the best here.
Rightfully so. Acorn and Bolts, just getting it down, literally going from one fight to another by getting those eliminations onto Veno and Agers. And since they already have the vending machine locked down, they're not necessarily too worried about the heals they're going to bring with them in the next stage in the game. They just have to be on their timing because it is a 2-tick. It is going into a 5-tick. As you jump on board, Queasy and Victor V, they're below the damage threshold. And Javi and Aminish are underneath that bridge, also below that damage threshold.
I love that we get to get this updated kind of Queasy and Victor V fight too, because we have seen them have trouble game after game. Even if they make it to the end game, they have been so desperately below the damage threshold. Well, look at Victor Cook here. Z drops a Minish. Again, this is another team that absolutely needed those eliminations and those points there, so Victor V gets rewarded, and it just couldn't have gone better for them right here, and they get to pick up the loot to go. So a nice way to kind of give them a foot in the door, but the problems are not done yet.
Nah, especially since you're only 180 above the damage threshold. And I'm not going to say this is a max pull. You can see in the mini-map there are teams that do have it harder, but you see the shockwaves coming out, kind of leaves you open, a little bit of a risky rotation, but most of this path so far has been clear. Maybe 1-2 teams in their path overall. So for Easy and Victor V, they just got blessed with a smooth rotation. They have to watch out when they do get there. Acorn Bolts, Muzz Rise, Boogan Breaks, even Golden Ozone trying to take that same path.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say Queasy is just moving as well. Very smooth rotate there to get him straight ahead. And now he's shockwaving up for high ground. You already seen him building up and over. Meanwhile, Ritual, Cole comfortably solidified the lead now with that elimination there, putting them in first place here. 4 consistency points. How far can they push this opportunity? This is a rare opportunity where Peterbot and Pollo fall to a lurk strategy, right? Not because they made any mistake, but because they were caught off guard. A very rare circumstance for something like Peterbot and Pollo.
Yeah, exactly, because they're the ones who usually pull out those tricks from underneath their sleeve. But you talked about taking the strategy, something that we saw literally Peterbot and Pollo do in the last game. Overstay at Sinister Strip, and because Moneymaker and Fnatic did, it is going to pull back, so they got to have the biggest blessing here in this game, along with Muzz and Rise. Their strategy to overstay on that mountain just outside of Calamari Canyon, working out tenfold, almost 500 damage above the threshold. They do have an item slot that is empty, so maybe they use some medkits to get here, but so far, they got to be looking good as Rapid and Clicks continue to heat up here in this tournament. Day 2, they find that elimination on Encrypted.
I mean, listen, I don't want to put a jinx out there, so I'm not going to say what I'm really thinking about Clicks and Rapid right now, but so far, so good. I will leave it at that. Looking to the high ground, you see Moneymaker for 9. Again, pulling the zone here. Clicks and Rapid on the ultimate low ground now. Well above the surge threshold. They have that comfort. They have max material. And now we are moving into deep stages of the moving zones.
They're only roughly 34 or so points behind that first global qualification spot, that 6th place in terms of teams that do get to qualify. So they're not too far off. So they don't even necessarily need a miracle run today. They just need to do good enough, or maybe hope for the downfall of others. But either way, they still got to play their game out, just like Batman, Booga, and Curve. Disaster struck in that last game, went down relatively early, lost their top spot on the leaderboard inside of the top 5. But look how they're quickly bouncing back. Their mental game has to be strong here in a tournament like this.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, Kerber has already expressed himself saying that he has found the confidence after becoming a champion of that first season alongside Veno, and then doing what he did inside of Heats. It's really changed him as a player. At the end, though, it's going to be a matter of can they perform. I'm looking at Queasy find Calixi in the feed there as well. Noxie Dozier still getting active too. Moneymaker and For9 have so much height over the other teams here, but this is going opposite side, so I was going to say there's no way they're going to build a cross. Oh yeah, they are going to actually look to fully connect here. It's one way to play the high ground. Meanwhile, Muzz and Rise is doing exactly what they do best, not really forcing the issue, sticking to the low ground here.
Yeah, and it's not just, you know, Ritual and Cold that have something to gain with Peterbot and Pollo going down. Rise and Muzz can very well overtake them on the leaderboard as well. Few teams can rightfully do that, but as Moneymaker and Fnatic still looking good up top, you have to watch out. Threats is there. You got Batman, Booga, and Curve there. You got Cold still lurking around, and even Clicks finding another elimination onto Noxie. You know, if the opportunity comes their way, high ground, they will try and take it.
When you have 8 shockwaves, right? You surely have to be thinking about it now. All it takes is for you to continue to shockwave to the front side of the zone and work your way up slowly but surely. As I say that only get hits to low ground. Meanwhile, back onto Hicks and Curve here. More things looking for them. Not too bad, but out of the extra heals, so let's see what they can do, what little they have to work with. Little layer change here. Meanwhile, no one is contesting high ground. Not even Queasy, not even Victor V. They don't have heals. You can really see the problem starting to set and take form here in the end game, but the policeman points are finally starting to rack up here now as teams are falling here. Ritual cold, though. Running things on the low ground here. This is Acorn and Bolts on the other side of the wall. A very important elimination is starting to line itself up here.
This is something they do best for the most part. They dominate that mid and low ground layers. Up until then, they get struck down. A flank comes in, but high ground gets overthrown as well. Rise and Muzz, and they're not even the ones that fought Moneymaker and F9. A chop in the backside of zone. They don't catch it in time, and they go down. All that effort to just slip through their fingers, and now Muzz and Rise are the ones with their heads in the clouds.
Very smart, and Muzz and Rise have been the only team we've seen game after game be extremely sneaky with looking to play late in this storm for a retake, or in this instance, or the chop is playing off so well. Back to Batman. Buga's got no curve. 5 material count left here. Let's see if he can play the way that his name was made. But here, jump over rapid, hold. Also running material. Meanwhile, Booga. True to his name, too, popping off here in the end game.
He literally turned and burned him down. 5 different players in this game feeling the pressure of what it's like to be a solo. One less with Batman Booga going down. Victor V eliminated as well. Raids is going to fall. Booga just trying to hang on to the edge of the zone, make it to the front, reassess the situation. He knows with only 1 build left, being a solo is a nightmare of a scenario, but he finds the elimination onto a V. Gets tagged from above. The Cypher keeping him alive, but without any materials, it's not for long.
He plays it well. In the end, Muzz and Rise are raining down terror here. 9 eliminations now, working their way towards another 10 bomb here. But it's Clicks and Rapid healthy on the low ground. They have absorbed all the siphon material. And now, here comes the final fight. Muzz. Wait, is that a Shockwave out for the heal play? Okay, so he's going to leave Rise to fight this one off by himself here. Rapid and Clicks look to go for the 2v1, but Muzz might have made a small mistake. He comes back in, and Clicks and Rapid actually have control of height.
Yeah, the tables have definitely turned. It's the material count from both of the players that are weak. They're shockingly up. They're taking the extra angle. The Mythic Warforged. It's just burning through those materials. Shockwaving from both of them. Rising Clicks straight shot. Rapid's going to get dropped. It's makes up for it with a down onto Rise. 1v1. No build. First shot's going to land. But he needs the siphon. It comes in just in time. But Muzz is still going to shut it down. 11 eliminations and possibly a new first place team.
Great fight as well. Clicks, we know we love to see you do what you do, but Muzz, we enjoy just as much there. Zeke, game number 8, what a round.
Sorry, passed out there. What happened? That's crazy. Whoa. You know what's really crazy about that? We just saw.
Oh my God.
The last game, an 11 elimination victory royale to start the day, and then Muzz and Rise were like, "Oh, you guys like that? You guys like that action? Sweet, watch this." Oh my gosh, to think this all kind of started, Kelly, because of a chop, because of Moneymaker and F9 on the high ground suddenly getting chopped, and Muzz and Rise look up and go, "We should just go there."
And listen, we'll talk about Moneymaker and F9 after this break. But yes, Muzz and Rise being able to identify that F9 is going down, taking that high ground, and then being able to control it. But we heard it from our casters there. There was a moment where it looked like maybe they were going to go for the heal up. Maybe it was just a misplay of the Shockwave grenade, but able to recover. And then it coming down to a 1v1. We got Xset versus Xset, and we just set our expectations. Absolutely incredible, Vivid.
Muzz and Rise are our first team here in Major number 2 Grand Finals to pick up a second victory royale. And listen, it was done very, very clean. Actually, it was pretty similar to how they got their first victory royale as well. Kind of tight control, and then Muzz kind of left down to this 1v1 situation where he just takes it nice and slow and easy. Make sure he doesn't take any damage. Unfortunately, Clicks could not find the angle necessarily. That's just because Muzz was playing it so well. And listen, Dick, I know that you're probably going to want to scream here very, very shortly. I'm looking over at the leaderboard, and I want everybody at home to kind of realize that very, very shortly when we come back to the break with the leaderboard, you might want to cover your ears because it's going to get crazy. But Muzz and Rise, man, just played it so well. And what's crazy about this, take a look at our eliminations kind of going into 8 zone. actually only had a single one kind of entering this end game, but they started to rein in, of course.
And once again, we talked about at the start of the show, this early game where they have this plateau, they have this high ground, and it allows them kind of in this center area to rotate regardless of where they are, getting themselves into a prime position before we get into these moving zones. And that is what is allowing them to just kind of be efficient, survive these mid to late games, and then being able to steal height with tons of mats, tons of heals, and of course a great loadout with their ammo and everything. I love to see it. They have come into this tournament with a game plan, and they have just been executing it so perfectly as the tournament has gone on. 2 games for 2 victory royales, but Zeke, I think these guys can make it 3.
I mean, the way that they are playing right now, this is their tournament to lose, right? Like, they are going on a spree right now. Yeah, 468 points there. Not a big deal. I wonder where Muzz will be on the leaderboard after this break. No idea where he could be. I don't...
What the fuck? I think it passed away.
Hey, look at you.
Oh my god. Dude, that was a crazy game by Clickster. I mean, still a good game, but Places is not right now.
2.46 damage ratio right now for Muzz. Bro, Muzz almost has a better damage ratio than Cold right now. That says a lot. Cold is like the benchmark for phenomenal ratio in a finals. If you can get a better ratio in a finals than Cold and he didn't get like griefed or something, you're doing well. Like that's usually where you want to be at. 2.46, 2.55. They're both playing great. Pete's on a 2.05. Poi on a 2.28 though, looking good too. 4 players above 2 ratio right now. Yeah, the only 4 players above 2 ratio right now is Muzz, Cold, Pete, and Poyo though. So Pete and Poyo have the best duo damage ratio though. Hell yeah, bro. This is a good ass finals, man. Thank you for joining me, chat. I appreciate it. Thank you for the follows on Twitch, the subs on YouTube. Thank you. This is gonna be a great grand one to remember.
Like a win.
I love it.
If you really want to play second,
He's got with the tier 1. Where's money gonna go next game? Like, where's money actually gonna go next game? Ken Beats. Like, if I should disconnect the router next game, P-Man's gonna be in that shit, bro. I thought it was gonna be a meme about, like, locking the doors or something. Bro, Ken Bean's about to get his house swatted. Oh, boy. I mean, I'm interested to see who money goes after next, though, man. He's been teeny stratting, dude. Like I said, I don't think it's targeted. But I'm thinking, like, I don't think Muzz will be a big target of the teeny strat just because of his PO. I mean, maybe, but his split's so open. Acorn and Bolts could maybe cop it. Richie Cold already had, but maybe again because it already worked. Batman, Booger, and Curve kind of hard on the mountain, but maybe if they play it right. Josh and Zoe, not really. Like, I don't think he's just going for the big teams, by the way. I'm just looking at who the big teams are for, like, how it could work. Like, who is it going to affect on the leaderboard if he goes for the teeny strat on him? I don't think he's, like, looking at the top of the leaderboard only going after them. Reed Cooper, maybe. Thank you, Scopes, to the 5 gifted. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Slack, with the tier 1. Thank you for the 1,034 subs, chat. Less than 300 from 16,000. Thank you. Yeah, Reed maybe 2. Reed definitely. Wonky could be 1.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. I just passed out. I had a crazy dream that Muzz and Rise got a victory royale, and he 1v1 the CEO. And he won, and he had 468 points. He was in first place. What a crazy dream to have. There's no way that the standings would reflect that, right? That's not real life, isn't that? Is that gonna be kind of crazy if that happened, Kelly?
468 points, 66
Dude, they're over a
points
win
ahead
clear of
Ritual
second.
and Cold. And also Acorn and Bolts
Damn.
jumping up Peterbot and
Oh
Boyd
my
dropped
God, bro.
down. And of course we know that Moneymaker and Fernine now have a
Dude,
giant
Rise getting his
target on their
first
back.
ever
How
FNCS win with
can you put a
Muzz
target
would be
on a
so
moving
sick.
target?
Especially the
Because we're
history
just
they've had.
So much is going on. But of course,
If you guys don't know, there is a point in Fortnite previously where Muzz and Rise genuinely hated each other. I don't mean like a little bit of bickering, like, oh, you stole my drop spot. Like, actually, like, at least severe dislike of each other. When they reformed as a duo, people were very shocked. We'll just say that much.
Playing anti-strat here against Peterbot and Polio just kind of
Damn.
Why? I mean, it was just they split on bad terms. Like at one point, Rise had like Muzz and Curly doing tryouts, and he was like swapping between them and shit. Then they like split on bad terms, and yeah, it all got a little bit. Yeah, it got a bit weird.
Might have actually left.
Yeah, like last year, this is all happening.
Place with 270 points. So the strategy right now.
Hey, I'm not gonna add bad blood.
Obviously, though, from
Water under the bridge,
very, very
and now they're in fucking first, baby.
All of our top teams, man, are struggling to kind of do well. Second place, Ritual and Cole, they're kind of holding on to that.
W Clicks, man. Hey, look at the comeback, bro. 9th place.
Disparity between them.
They're doing it. They're doing it.
Now it's 60.
Bro, top 5 would be so huge.
Imagine if this win.
15, and in that game right here, game number 8, they
smell the coffee. I'm smelling the coffee, bro, and it smells good.
Struggling to kind of play as consistently as they did yesterday.
Yeah, you can just see between their loadout, comparing what we saw at end games from today and yesterday. They just don't have that many mats. They don't have.
Are
they basically confirmed land? Oh yeah, Muzz is in land now. Yeah, Muzz will not drop outside top 10.
To get these easy quick
refreshes,
just
that's a good question. What do we think land qual is already guaranteed? Yeah, no, 468. No, it's going to be like top 10. 468 is definitely going to be top 10. What was top 10 on EU, just for like random comparison? Obviously it can change, but like what is top 10 in a format like this? 376. Top 10 on EU was 376. Obviously it could be different, but like, yeah. They're in land. Like Rise and Muzz are 100% going to land together now. There's just no way they're not.
Break into the top 6 that allows these qualifying spots to drop down. And look who's in 9th place right now. Clicks and Rapid, the team that we thought potentially after day number 1 might have fallen off, might have not had an opportunity to really recover.
Oh yeah, Muzz is at EWC too. Go Muzz, man.
Game number 9, where Clicks, the CEO himself, is showing
Muzz is growing on me?
And it was so close.
Can I ask why Muzz was not thrown on you at the start though, out of curiosity?
But second place is still
Muzz can be a little bit of a coper sometimes on his stream when he's playing solos. That's about the only thing I can think that people might not like about Muzz.
Obviously, the second place with 5 eliminations here in game number 8 is going to be the highlight so far of day number 2 for them. But I mean, game number 7.
No, I'm taking the dab, but I'm always just curious. I'm just always curious, like how some people have like a negative opinion of someone that a lot of people like.
And yeah, you mentioned it. Clicks and Rapid are in 9th place.
Muzz is usually like I would say Muzz is like a fan favorite.
With Kingling and Craze and
most people love Muzz.
Kind of jumping into the top 10. Yeah, those global qualifying spots right now. The threshold is current. Right now, the threshold is currently 10th place, so everybody in our top 10 would be going to globals right now as it currently stands. But there are still 4 games left to play, and if game number 7 and game number 8 have taught me anything, it's that this leaderboard is not done changing at all. So all of our teams still got to play well.
Yeah, man. Now the competition is getting closer and closer, right? I mean, it's really only Muzz and Rise that have that lead. Everyone else is very close, from 2nd to like 7th place. You can even argue 8th place as well. Not, you know, this could continue to go any which way, and it's all off the backs of what you called out earlier, Vivid. If a team has these, you know, kind of rough games where they place like 16th or further out, everyone else is going to take that opportunity to climb that leaderboard, because we're all fighting for one of 6 spots going to the global championships. Oh, I'm getting super excited. We already know game number 9 is here. We got to jump right back into action. I'm going to buy my seat on the bus and cheer on Muzz and Rise. I mean, to watch Fortnite. Let's go, Captain.
Zeke's losing it, and we're only halfway through. Well, after this game, of course, but Jacob, it is heating up here.
No, it definitely is. I thought the 1-point difference was exciting, but Muzz and Rise getting their 2nd victory royale, and it's been since 2024 was one of the last times we see Rise at the top of the leaderboard. They were so close in that major after day 1. It fizzled away, but this could be the moment. I feel like this is a resurgence of Muzz and Rise.
Yeah, definitely. And listen, the way that they're playing right now, it is slow and steady, and then out of nowhere, explosive when they decide to go for high ground. This execution's looking perfect. So far, We haven't seen him actually have this amount of pressure, though, playing when you're in the race to the finish line, right? So for Muzz, it's been a while since he's had this on his shoulders.
Yeah, and then you also take into the fact that, honestly, every single time there's a new team in first place, there's some sort of shenanigans that does go down. The next game is ready. Let's see if those same things will continue here.
Let's
Not
get
wrong,
it.
Jacob. Whenever we have a team in first place on NA, something always happens. A team always decides, usually it's Peter Bonaboya, in fact, that they want to take this championship home, and that's what they end up doing. But right now, that's not really their bigger concern. I think their other concern is, can I just be consistent enough and make my way through to the end game? For Dozier and Ishu, though, they've managed to kind of tighten up their drop against Skittles and won the first 2 games here, but Ishu's going to be the first casualty of this engagement. Dozier tries to disengage. Can he get far enough? Yes, he can. He's actually lucky they just had SMGs, so his tournament's not over yet. Meanwhile, I saw on the feed there, Shadow and Virgo seem to have been contested as well, so there's a lot happening here.
Yeah, it's just kind of, game 3 of day 2, game 9 overall. So we're not necessarily on the halfway point of day 2 just yet, but you can see the teams really kind of starting to change things up. Moneymaker, Fanayan, they go back on over towards the split 0-point drop where Oliver OG and Paper and Zen are battling it out. They let the fight start and they crash the party yet again. A strategy as far as the early game goes that has been working near flawlessly. It's about executing in the end game. X-Bond is trying to stay alive, but he does have the sliders, and he's trying to slide his way to safety, but eventually they're going to cut off each and every path, especially more so when he run out of builds. But he right now is moving right now, Monster.
Yeah, definitely moving. As Moneymaker and Fanayan tried super hard to go ahead and get those eliminations. In the end, they do succeed. You know what's crazy, too? I know Vivid kind of said, hey, it's not really working for them, but is it? I don't know. I think the strategy is sort of working, because when you look at them in their survival time, the last 2 games, 20 minutes and 19 minutes respectively. So they were deep into the end game, and something at that point went south. So I don't know. I'm really curious to see if Fanayan and Moneymaker will pull another big end game and steal away a global championship spot.
Especially since the leaderboard is that close. Not only you having a good performance in one of these games, but somebody else like we've seen today already, missing out on some crucial placement points. I think as Zeke was saying, top 15, top 16 or worse in some of these games, leaving a lot of points on the board. There's King and Craze. We see him outside the Calamari Canyon trying to take advantage of H-Cube and Vlex. Good damage is there, but Craze gets tagged up himself. That's going to slow the roll just a little bit, but King is making sure to keep a bird's eye view on them.
See how it's going to play out for King and Craze. There's no pressure on this team for them. It's just pop off, play well, and prepare for globals. They already have that positioning there amongst the greats, and this is just a battle for, of course, the leaderboards and the history. For HQ, for VLEX, much different story on hand here. They have been playing a very strong day 2, so one of the few teams that have actually adjusted their strategy, sort of found their footing there in the last game, pulling that 3rd place there. And just that alone kind of puts them at least off to a better start here today.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they got tagged up or maybe heard the noise from Cade and Seal on the other side, but they're going to go ahead and choose to disengage. Rightfully so. When you're running out of builds in a prolonged fight like that, having that third party shoot your direction is probably the worst thing to happen. Back on over to Latte, though. Even with Agers going down, Veno is going to hold his ground. Back-to-back eliminations yet again. Veno and Agers, they want to not only qualify for the Global Championship, but they want to give themselves a fighting chance for the actual win.
I think this works better for Victor V and Queasy as well, right? Because the few times that Veno and Agers don't take this fight, they rotate out towards Victor V and Queasy, and that's where we find them having third parties, lurk plays, and things over there. So at least right now, them kind of taking their time here, winning the fight, they'll be more likely to linger around their drop and cap out their loadouts. Something went horribly wrong here for Acorn, though. I'm not too sure what exactly would have happened, though.
Yeah, my only guess is whoever that is, Chimp and 20 nearby, maybe found the elimination. They are hiding in a bush. Either way, Booga and Braids in the distance. So Bolts needs to start figuring out where he's going to go, how he's going to get Acorn back in the game. Luckily for him, though, the zone is kind of pulling off these shorts, so we'll see teams from Golden Grove and further south on the map start to rotate on out, so that could be his small window of opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's see it here. Boyo Peterbot from their draw spot, you can see they're not sticking around for too much longer than they also have to. They've gone chase the team down, got a nice little set of eliminations, and back they come to the Sinister Strip. If the last game told us anything, is that teams will gladly rotate in here. So we've already known now that Peterbot and Boyo have a lot to look out for and can't let their guard down.
I feel like nobody should feel safe in this game at this point in time. How many lurks have went around today, yesterday, especially if you were able to review it. As Moneymaker for Nyan ended up in a tough situation. Iyamzo and Josh right now just trying to push him out. Moneymaker's going to be the first one dropped, and Iyamzo gets both of those eliminations. So even though Josh has been playing phenomenal today, Iyamzo has been the consistent heartbeat for this duo, getting them out of tough situations, clutching up as a solo, and I think that is allowing for Josh to feel as confident as he has here today.
Well, you know what? That's a big elimination. But Nyan and Moneymaker falling early, they were one of the few teams that were basically tied on the bubble for one of the consistency spots between the 10 to 12 position teams. The gap down from there is about 40 points. So now that one of those few teams have fallen, this leaves a little bit of runway for someone to take away a consistency spot from a different team.
Dash, Noxie, Victor V, Queasy, Angel, Batman Joe, even Dozier and Ishu. Still plenty of opportunities as the leaderboard does go down. Just need to be able to not only have one big game, but close out the day strong. This game here and 3 more to close it out. And you're kind of seeing everybody begin to rotate in, rapid clicks. Again, you see like a little resurgence from them here in day number 2.
They're nowhere most by the way.
Focusing on getting that storm surge. We saw their struggles yesterday where they were on the line below that damage threshold. That kind of forces your hands. Now they just have a whole different freedom.
If Muzz win, I'm giving away.
Definitely. Muzz and Rise have the most fire rifle damage of all teams with 4,007.
If Muzz and Rise win, I'm giving away 1,000 V-Bucks. If Muzz and Rise win, okay? If Muzz and Rise win, I'm giving away 1,000 V-Bucks. Let's get it.
These are the guys that were a part of the innovative strategies of Surge Towers. They're used to playing high ground and going for tags for your primary needs to get Surge, so it makes sense that they would be dominating in that way here. But, Jacob, what is this action here? You have Liam and Jace on the edge of Storm, taking a fight up against Zeke.
And Taki down below. Probably just trying to get some early surge. You can kind of see relatively on E when it comes to those materials, so trying to replenish everything they're using and losing in these moments here. But for Liam, Jace, Zeke, Taki, the longer and longer this one takes, the harder and harder it is going to be able to pick yourself up and dust yourself off and turn it into a phenomenal game. Still 1 tick per second inside of the zone. And that's where you kind of see on Taki at the bare minimum. 90 left on the Chug Jug. That's the only real HP he's going to be able to get back.
Yeah, that's pretty much the last of the squeeze there. Well, Liam and Jace, they've kind of had enough here in the Storm. They have a long rotate as well. You saw the first zone closing somewhere around that Sinister Strip territory of the map, so quite a fair bit to travel here.
You can kind of see even with Liam and Jace trying to disengage. They realize there's like no builds. Everything's kind of farmed, so they're just kind of leaving themselves exposed just like that. Liam getting tagged up again. Zeke and Taki just trying to take the last couple of opportunities there. Since they did end up in a fight, they did take damage. Just trying to ease up on that pressure. Higgs and Curve, aka Batman Booga and Curve on the north side of Lifty Lodge. So we saw that as you were talking about the bottom of the zone over towards Sinister Strip, the north side over towards Lifty Lodge. And since you see at the kind of the bottom left of the mini map, you kind of see it kind of circling in that direction. So we are pulling west as well. We're going to see where the zone goes in roughly 10 or less seconds. And so hopefully for Higgs and Curve, this could be the game that gets them right back on track from yesterday.
Yeah, they're not out the race. They're not out of the conversation. Yeah, they might have of had a little bit of a difficult, right, first game, second game, it kind of starts stuff off, but that last round they fought their way to the end. Meanwhile, Crazy and Kingaling just continue to take that confidence through to a whole different level, slowing down HQ there, the big elimination. Meanwhile, Bolts, again, no Acorn insight, right? So he's having to fight this one out. He's taking on a 2v1 right now. Already he's got himself an elimination, and he's got an HP lead.
Yeah, Siphon, since he has no extra HP, is important. As we kind of switched on over, I did see Acorn for a second, but he did go down again. So Bolt's getting the reboot off. Clixie and Aiden trying to take advantage of at least one of those two players. But little did they know it was Acorn and Bolts right now feeling confident, pushing that player off. He has full control over the vending machine, and so it should be another chance here in this game that we will see Acorn back in.
I was going to the standings here just to see where Clixie and Aiden are standing. They definitely have had a bit of a rougher day the last few games. They've made it a bit further than some of the other positions, but all in all, still trying to find their groove. Meanwhile, Curly, Tyler, Prashant, Virgo, and Shadow here. Virgo and Shadow off to the races. Trying to get positioned safely. Again, one of the few teams inside of the top 10 that are holding a global championship spot, so they're kind of the spoilers, of course, in the mix here. If they end up taking down anyone who's fighting for their chance.
And typically with a lot of like these lurks and these plays, kind of those global championship spots that are already secured. But it's playing a role from some of these teams getting uncontested, getting a little bit of freedom in the game plan that most others won't be able to fill. Peter Bot and Poyo just going to let them rotate past, but Shadow and Virgo unknowingly rotate directly into King and Crazy. Literally in a matter of seconds, you blink, you missed it. Shadow and Virgo actually take down King and Crazy.
This is excellent for everyone else. This is excellent. You have a team that's already qualified, taking out another team that's already qualified. So, you know, no harm, no foul to everyone else who is, of course, battling for a chance to global champs. But Shadow and Virgo really flexing their strength here.
You can see as you kind of look at the leaderboard, specifically going into this game, there's Muzz with that 66-point gap, and then it's a 10-point, then it's 15, then it's 40. So some places at the top leaderboard relatively close. Others have a little bit more of a gap. And King and Crazy was one of those teams that had that little bit of a gap over Shadow and Virgo. So that's 8th place taking on 7th place throughout the course of this game. As Ritual and Cold had a chance to take first. They had it throughout the course of that game, but back-to-back 15th, 16th place finish kind of slowed down a little bit. Not fully fizzled out, so hopefully they can reignite that flame.
Yeah, definitely. Well, they're off to some hot rotates here. Nice and early before teams kind of get situated here, utilizing that natural terrain here to keep a low profile, cut straight across. Meanwhile, the high ground of Muzz and Rise, they're playing deep in the storm here. They still have the launch pad to work with. And then plenty of shockwaves, of course, as well. All these extra heals here, too.
You're seeing a major difference, though. You know, at this point in time in that last game, because the zone pulled in their direction, what were they, like 400 or 500 above the damage threshold? But since the zone is pushing everybody out, and because they still have to loot up in their early game, they missed a huge window of opportunity, and that's why you're seeing them not as high up on the threshold, but almost 200 damage. It's got to have a little bit of feeling and confidence here. They're just waiting for what seems like the last possible second to make their rotate on out, so that way when they do start to make their journey on over, they have that shockwave effect to close the gap that much quicker.
Yeah, this is a risky play for them, though. They're staying super deep in the storm. Off they go. Meanwhile, Yangzo and Josh, 263 above, already safely positioned inside of the storm here, playing a Bliss, trying to look for any teams to late rotate out from the edges of the zone. See the shockwave here. He's going straight to the new zone, carrying that momentum with a couple hops there.
Uh-oh. Even though they're above the damage threshold, not sure where everybody's at, especially the ones close around him. Contrap, Darzi, they can be below, forced to fight the first team they see. But Yamzo and Josh, seeing Shadow and Virgo rotate next to them, they're going to use that as a signal to continue their journey. And it's just in a situation here with Storm Surge being so tight, You almost want to think to your head, oh, I can one-hop this, one shockwave, that's all it takes. But sometimes you want to do exactly what Yamazo and Josh are doing and kind of leapfrog your way there. Minimize the amount of open trajectory that you're doing with those shockwaves, so that way it minimizes the amount of opportunities that you're giving teams to take shots in your direction.
Definitely. As this is all going down, though, you see the feed starting to light up here. Other teams that are likely having that surge warning forced into fights. And I'm talking about Victor potentially, as we saw him catch 2 Elims already. Meanwhile, Ritual and Cold again taking full-on advantage of that early rotate. They were the first team to position up here, and they've managed to put a lot of pressure on different duos. I'm actually surprised they're even playing the edit this way with how exposed they are to these other teams with high ground. And you see right there, the full burn from Curve and Veno take down Queasy as they try to rotate through.
And they're actually going to be able to pick up that loot on the Queasy. Holding Ritual, though, not necessarily getting distracted with anything that's going on their right side. They're just trying to kind of put the zone in a little bit of a funnel and focus on that funnel. That way they don't tunnel vision too hard. And they're just continuously distracting. Victor B in the distance will fall shortly after Queasy as well. So they're kind of leaving it into the last 3 games of the day to try to make their dash towards the top side of the leaderboard. Muzz and Rise, winners of that last game, the team with a 66-point gap. You saw them continuously climb up the Storm Surge threshold. With only 13 players needing to go down, it might not necessarily be a worry for them for the rest of this game.
Yeah, definitely shouldn't be. But right now, looking at the zone, everyone's already making that rotate here. So this is going right back and up out of the Frosted Flats and into some weird terrain, some interesting territory to come. But look who's there early. You have Cooper already playing some high ground. That's the first that we've seen from them. Meanwhile, some rapid states that low ground that worked so well for them last game. Only down to 2 shockwaves, so half nerving here. Curve and Batman Booga have a tough rotate though. Lost one on the move here. This is where things can start going south for a team like Curve and Higgs. They actually need this qualification, and for them to start slowing down now and finding a little bit of friction here on their overall points, this is going to be tough if Curve can't pull some placements.
Yeah, especially since when I was talking about that gap earlier on within the top 10, it's a Peterbot and Poyo with a little bit of that gap, 42 points going into this game, so they got to figure out a way to close it. Even though Peterbot and Poyo are not necessarily the competition for global spots, they're the direct competition for the top side of the leaderboard. Shadow going to go down to Tyler. Peterbot and Poyo this game, unlike many of the other games so far, not necessarily peaking for the high ground, or at least not early. Ritual and Cold pick up a couple of eliminations themselves. It's still an all-out battle for that first place spot.
That's a devastating elimination, by the way. Also, Dash and Noxie who were on the bubble for qualification, getting themselves in for consistency. Now that's going to be a major setback. They only earned a couple of points here for placement as we're inside the top 20 now. I'm still seeing Veno standing there in the distance.
Oh my god, like so close.
See
like
Agers as well accompanying him, so that's really strong. But for Peterbot and Poyo, you saw that almost every game that they've managed to constantly make their way towards, and they have fought for the high ground for the most part. They are no strangers.
No way, Clicks die.
Meanwhile, Bolts and Acorn.
Well, hold on.
Talk about hiding back.
What the fuck?
Every game that they've managed to comfortably
Did Clicks die? Oh, never mind. Didn't die. Okay.
make their way towards, and they
I was about to say. Alright, go Clicks.
From one place to another, trying to hold their position up above. Clicks and Rapid down below. Getting Greston through the side. They quickly answer that one, backtracking their steps. But it's only going to last for so long. There's so much pressure coming around from all around the lobby. It's one team and then the next and then the next. So they have to be on their toes.
Rapid making the smart call there to get off the lane as well.
Nice,
Leaving Clicks behind.
Nice Clicks, nice, bro. Nice Clicks.
Back together.
Nice, get the win.
We put the pressure on him.
Get the win, Clicks. Get the win. Come on.
Solo earning more and more points. How many
times
can we trust in Curve to clutch up?
1,000 V-Bucks if Muzz and Rise win.
Either way, though, it's working right now. Big pressure coming in. Shots raining down.
I'm giving away 1,000 V-Bucks.
This is important for Ritual as well. If they want to
Muzz and Rise come first.
No time to let your foot up
And
off
win the
gas
tournament,
by any
I'll
means,
give it
but it's also hard
1,000
for any team to look up and
All right, never fucking mind. Peterbot take down Muzz.
Rise is still alive.
Rise is still
and
going
Rise's
as a solo.
Opportunity is
One elimination.
huge.
Clay is still
Top 10
going.
is where you at
Beat
least get
Clay
half the
still
place to push
Boyo.
for Rise. That
Come
should
on,
bare
Clay.
minimum be the goal, but Rapid
Come on,
gets to
Clay.
get back. Boyo was down. Peterbot left by himself.
Rapid.
Fix it. Rapid
One
on
elimination.
their first elimination of the game, and it's
Go,
on
Peterbot
and
still
Boyo.
going.
Curve solo.
As a
Peterbot
solo. Beat.
This is getting really
Curve
interesting.
take down
still
one.
finding eliminations as well.
Oh,
And gets
fuck,
the key for
no.
the block. That's a top
Curve
15.
went down.
And some extra placement
Reed
points
Cooper
there.
in
Just
the
a
high
little bit of
ground.
cushion to work with.
Come on, Boyo.
No, I still
Big
see
Rise.
Rise standing. I see Peterbot up as well.
Oh, shit.
Rise still taking a toe-to-toe fight with Clicks and
Rise.
Rapid. Looking for a little opportunity.
It's
to
the
get in
worst
there. He's
for-
gonna end up
for that
following
player.
Close on their trail
Come on,
here.
Rapid. Oh, no.
He's the
God.
HP in the chunk.
I think Clay went down.
Keep him
Oh,
alive
my
for a
God.
little
Come
bit longer.
on.
There's a clear break.
Oh,
With
shit.
this on the
Big
other side.
B.
Josh falls
Oh,
to the hand of
shit.
Peterbot.
Rise take down B.
That's a big elimination there because Rise picks up another
Oh,
decisive
shit.
140 on
Rise is
Chug
still
Chug
going.
Solo on solo action.
Oh,
Rise
shit,
is
Clicks
making
and
sure
Rapid is
nobody
still
has
going.
a chance to really close the gap. But
Both
sends it flying up
and
towards the
Acorn.
high ground. They're alive together
going.
as a duo, but Acorn might have been late to the party. which
Oh,
means both
shit.
get tagged up time and time again.
Rapid went down.
Two
Clicks
different
has a
sides.
solo.
They're continuing to shockwave up.
Reed
and
is
they
still
return
going.
back to their glory on the
Oh,
high ground.
shit,
And even
big
get
bump.
elimination on Acorn.
We see
Oh,
this before.
fuck
Teams
no.
go for it. If you can't get that
Vito
elimination,
is still
it's gonna
going.
be tough. And then whoever times it
Oh,
next, usually
shit.
comes
Visual
out
went
ahead.
down.
This time,
Cooper went
it's
down.
Veno.
Vito's
It's
going up.
The storyline
Oh,
for this team,
shit.
for Veno in
Rice went down.
particular, who's trying to go back
Vito
to
take
back
down
on
Cooper.
NAC now. This is how you make up points here.
Big AJ. Clicks is still
Major One
going.
trying to do it
The
here.
GOAT.
Another phenomenal clutch so far from Clicks, getting those points. That last
Come on, Clicks.
that second place
Come on, Clicks.
inside of
Come
the
on, bro.
This one right here is
Back-to-back
keeping us
second.
in the
Come on,
bubble.
Clicks.
Booga Braves, who also
on,
still need
Clicks.
to
Come on,
make it.
Clicks.
Golden Ozone, who also still
Win
need
that
to
shit.
get inside of the top 10. They're all down below. They're
on,
the ones
Clicks.
that are more than likely going to
Oh,
crash
my
next.
God.
As
This
Golden
went
goes
down.
down, Braves
Fuck
gets
me,
the
dude.
elimination. That's
Braves.
the seventh one of the game.
It's still
But they're
going.
still
Oh,
slowly
shit.
running
What
around
is
this
feet?
lobby and targeting
Booga.
the high ground. That's
Booga.
hard for them to break.
Booga.
Yeah, I think
Come on, Booga.
Big
Big Booga. Big Booga. Oh, fuck no. Booga went down. Vito is on solo. Vito's still going. Can Vito beat Reed?
And it's a 2v1. Reed
Oh,
comes
shit.
down.
Reed went down.
Just like
And Vito
Adrian
went
and
the game.
Fight their way back
Oh
into
my
the tournament.
God.
Yeah, coming
Turn no
into
fucks
this
away.
game,
Vito about to win the
around
game.
10th place on the overall leaderboard. Even with these
Oh,
down spots,
shit.
it's no feeling
Big
of
Vito.
comfortability at all. So they came in, they swung for the fences. Victory Royale means they hit the home run. Rising up the leaderboard, they go, Zeke.
Guys, listen, guys. My little hummingbird heart cannot take this much excitement, okay? We need to calm down. Kelly, have we had 3 games in a row of Victory Royales with 11 eliminations?
First of all, Vivid, he says we, like you and I, are on the same level as him. But yes, absolutely incredible. And maybe I'm a little biased to see Reed Cooper on height. But regardless, we have been waiting for this part of Veno and AG to kind of just get locked in, show up, because yesterday they proved themselves. But it's been a little bit of a slow start for them for day 2. But Vivid, we finally got to see them. Once again, it was from this really smart height take. They see a team on height, controlling it for a little bit. They wait for someone to try and steal it from them, and then that's when they go on the steal themselves. Beautiful play from them.
Yeah, I mean, Adrian Veto just played it super well. You can see we're going to actually jump into when they started to go ahead and apply the pressure to the high ground. You can see Cooper and Reed, they're just very, very low. This is on the back foot of Acorn and Bolt as a duo kind of sending it up to the high ground. So Adrian Veto kind of heard the shots that were going on up above them. We're like, hey, listen, we got to go ahead and get in on the action. So it was pretty easy for the taking after they kind of realized that. And then it was all about picking up this couple of stragglers down on the low ground to go ahead and secure the bulk of their eliminations there. But this was kind of set up throughout the entirety of the end game for Venom and Adrian, because we kind of saw it. They were playing that second height level, even though it was like 5 or 6 boxes kind of below the high ground. They were kind of playing for it. They were waiting to hear something kind of going above them. And as soon as that happened, They were ready and primed
40
up for
fucking
this.
7
So yeah,
even.
like
God
MDF
damn.
kind of called it out. Aegis and Veno kind of bring themselves back into the competition with a great game number 9.
47, yo.
Oh man, one game. Fortnite fam, don't you ever forget, till this is done, one game can suddenly change this leaderboard. Remember, we're fighting for prize money, active champion, and
Alright.
That's pretty easy. I think we could do that. Oh, jeez.
Type shit.
It's 26. All right, so it's
Okay,
26.
wait,
Oh, yeah, actually it is.
Oh, they're not.
Yeah, so it's 26 for Veno, 25 for Cold, 25 for Rise, 25 for Curve. But hey, one elim off. Not bad from the young fragger. Muzz and Rise, 514 points. 8 corner bolts, 456. Ritual code 448. P-Poyer 421. Aegis Veno 393. BB's on 379. Josh on 363. And Clicks. Wait, Clicks is on the. Okay. Clicks is just inside land qual. Wait, that's a crazy lead. The next 3 teams are all already qualified. So Booga is the next closest to Clicks, but he's 60 points behind. Clicks has gone from being 50 points off land qual to 60 points clear in 3 games. We'll see, though. I want to see Booga get up there, too, though. Dude, actually, wait. Okay, I found one issue to kind of be a little bit sad. It's exciting, but it's also sad. I want literally all of these teams to be in LAN. Like, I don't want any of these teams to drop out, and I want Booga in there, too. There's literally not enough room for every team I want. I don't want any of these teams drop out of LAN, but I want Booga to get in there, and that's not possible. Like, it's not possible for that both to happen. Yo, what's up? Clicks, Gold Ozone qualified? Oh, what the fuck? Yo, Clicks, we've had 3 good games. Let's chill a little bit. Stop violating. Come on, calm down. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, Gold Ozone did it at Summit, bro. We have LCG too. We do have LCG too, but I would much rather none of these people need LCG. So yeah, Clicks and Rapid have gotten more points today than yesterday. So today they've gotten... So now they're on 172 points. How many did they get yesterday, Chad? It was like 100. Was it 170? I think it was close to that though, wasn't it?
100 something.
They're in 4th? Hey, you know what that means. Pete Poyer though. Okay. What did Pete Poyer do though? Is Pete going to go after Muzz? Pete might go after Muzz here, bro. If this was another region, I'd be a lot more excited about Muzz being in 1st. But surely Pete's going to make a play soon. I mean, they're on that rock though. I mean, it's hard to key them, but like, Pete is going to see Muzz and Rise as like an easier 2v2 in the mid game. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think Pete has a lot of respect for Rise's fighting ability. Is it as you predicted? No, I know. I didn't predict Muzz to be in 1st, though, that's for sure. Oh boy. You said Pete would grief some and Acorn wins? I did predict that. And I would be very sad to be right now.
Fortnite fam,
Ooh,
we've been treated
baby.
to some cinema.
Yeah, I've been traded. We've been traded, bro. We've been traded.
3
Thank you for love, chat.
more
70K
games to
combined
go.
views. You guys are amazing. Thank
Already,
you so
the
much.
action has been incredible. We wanted to take a moment here. Let's check out the players in focus. Powered by Milk. Let's just look at some stats real fast, okay? This is what we like to do. Just kind of look in, see how things are unfolding. Wow. I'm not surprised. We just watched Veno and AJ get themselves that 11 elimination victory royale. And Kelly, now Veno leads in eliminations.
I mean, he led in eliminations when we were looking at Major 1 as well. So to see him on the top of this is not too much of a surprise. Same thing goes for Cole. We've just seen how devastating he can be in these early, mid, and late game fights. And then Poyo, of course, with that mythic AR in his hand. To see this, honestly, Vivid, this just seems like we could have just kind of created this randomly, been like, oh, this is a prediction that we're going to have for what's going to happen during grand finals. And to just see all of these top players up here represented that's amazing.
Grants.
96 solo clutch points. Peterbot and Poyo combined as a duo in total have 106.
Poyo with the 99
So
solo
Clutch
clutch
has
points.
kind of been the one
Poyo's doing it, bro. Poyo's doing it.
Ball rolling.
Yo, Suri, thanks for 1,000 biddies.
The opportunity in just that last game, but unfortunately,
Hit a bot, drop a 20 bomb, and my life is yours.
Yeah, all of our players kind of.
Whoa.
I know that Veno, we showed it right there. He is top in the eliminations right now, but he's actually been going back.
Are you Eastern ranked?
with Rise.
CM,
I think
Mav,
Rise
Mevo?
actually in second place, just
Thank you, Tommy,
right
Cola,
behind it with
Invasion, Kobe, Solar, Easy Money, Exton, Shinzo, Chad. I missed your sub. I'm so sorry, but thank you so much.
Standings.
They really are. I mean, I don't feel like I need to talk about
what's up, Dollar?
being in first place. Not a big deal. Wanted to highlight here Acorn and
Thank you,
Bull.
Brady.
Oh,
Appreciate
yeah,
the subs,
listen,
Chad.
Guys, I
3 games to go.
These games have been so crazy to me. Every single time we like conclude a game, the
You check in with
leaderboard
Brian?
shifts, and it's like only just like
Thank you,
by 1 or 2 placements. There's a new
Nationator?
team kind of jumping up this top 5. Kelly, it's so exciting because I feel like this is going to come down to the wire. That last game, this game
100%.
12 of the tournament, is going to be
W New Wave, I like that.
incredible.
And to see Acorn and Bolts being able to kind of, have a decent performance in day number 1, but maybe not necessarily as good as we thought they were going to do, and then continue to make them climb up the leaderboard for day 2. I will say, though, there was a moment here when they went to go steal height, but it looked like they weren't together.
Why isn't Click streaming? He decided to take playoff to lock in, bro, and so far it has worked immaculately. So if you hear from the Clicks crew, thank you so much. I appreciate the love. I'm trying to do my best to show Clicks when I can, but obviously the broadcast, we're showing him a decent amount.
And that's why they
We've also got I've got one of my mods in replays on his stream, so you can check out as well. But hope you guys enjoying the vibes.
A little judgmental. They're in second place.
The
They're still
Artemis?
climbing the leaderboard, Vivid.
Yeah, still keeping things.
It's a Fortnite exclusive song, Artemis. I don't know.
2 here on these standings. Let's go ahead and take a look at it.
Oh.
Now, I don't want to freak out or anything.
Sorry,
I don't want to make a
I'll do
big
it for
deal
you.
out of
Hey,
it.
it's Kevin.
but-
When's EWC? Let me find out the exact start dates. I keep when
I mean, this has been a
EWC
crazy
starts on the
day, so let me
19th,
go ahead and
20th for me, 19th for you guys.
After day 1,
It's a 4-day long tournament though.
It's at 86 points.
You game?
In
You Sarge?
28th place. They have flown all the way up in these first 3 games on day number 2 to 12th place. And their place.
How'd you know Maris? I've employed him for 5 years now.
It's been crazy. They've gotten 4th
Maris was just in my chat, man.
4th place and 4th place. They've
It was right as it was pretty much right as I was going full time and trying to scale up my streams a bunch, and Maris was mad helpful, and so
I'd be lying if I was to say that I'm not
Maris was just
excited
helping
to
out
see
like
what
any mod, and then
are doing a
my man took the initiative to help more and more, and it was things where I was like, oh shit, I literally can't do this without him, so I was like, yo, I can't keep expecting to be here if I'm not paying you, and then you want a job, and it's been almost 6 years now, dude.
Making sure that they are changing whatever fell short in day number
You
1.
Asgard with the tier 1?
That has
Here goes a hometown kid from Chicago. The All-Stars shines.
throughout the games in the day.
Guys, 3 games to go. If I'm not mistaken, currently, if we ended the tournament here, if we're looking at a top 8 right now, Vivid, right? Yep. Like, if we just stop the tournament, you need to be top 8 to move on to the Global Championships. And we still have 3 more games to go, Viv. I don't know how much crazier this is going to get with 3 more games.
Yeah, 344 points is currently that throw. So, I mean, we kind of just talked about him. So, Booga and Braves, we did see him. They're on 286. So, where it's kind of like this big fall off, this big drop in points just from like 10th place down to that 12th place spot. So, still a lot of work to do for any of our teams that are kind of not here on this top 10 page. But if you're playing as consistently as teams like Booga and Braves are right now, you got to start to think whether or not they can do it. But Clicks and Rapid, they're currently in that 8th place spot. They got to hold on, Kelly.
I was about to say, are you not going to mention 8th place? Are you not going to mention the teams that have qualified to global championships? Clicks and Rapid. I know. We don't want to say it. We don't want to bring it into fruition because then you put it out into the universe. Maybe the universe fights back. Listen, very excited for how our top 8 is looking right now, and that might shift. We might have some of our players. We can see how close Golden Ozone, Shadow Virgo, Pingalee, and Craze. They're all on that outside of the edge. So much can still change in these final 3 games, Zeke.
That's right, Kelly. This is the halfway point of the competition. 3 games left to make your mark and hopefully fight for one of those 6 spots, the Global Championships. Find your seats on the battle bus. It's game time.
Thank you so much. And one thing that I did notice, Monster, is the fact that Muzz and Rise, 514 points, one more good game, they secure a global championship spot.
Yeah, definitely. They're getting very, very close. They've already gapped the competition. And I was looking, they're just reporting in that 58 points separate Bugha to the qual spot. But if that were to happen, then we're kicking out Clicks or Josh or Yamzo or Higgs. Like, how do we choose one of these teams? You just can't. In the end, it's going to come down to who deserves it most. But let's get on this battle bus one more time.
Teams outside of the bubble, teams inside of the bubble. Both of them have teams that are for the global championship already secured. So even though there's teams still fighting for their spots, there's still disruptors in the mix. And right now, when you kind of look at it, 344 points, Clicks and Rapid, they are that line for the global championship. And they were mentioning Bugha and Braids, roughly 60 points away, which is definitely doable in these next 3 games.
Yeah, most definitely. It's getting down to the wire here. I'm just thinking about how far ahead Muzz and Rise are and how badly do other teams want this, right? Muzz and Rise have never had this, again, this amount of pressure, this amount of tension as we are going into the final 2 rounds. VenomAgers are on this incredible story, this comeback for themselves. And look at this, Jacob. It seems like they have the drop to themselves for the time being. You have Contrap, I don't know what they're doing, but for the most part, they got the main POI to themselves.
Yeah, which I want to see, honestly, is it actually a blessing or a curse? Because a lot of those fights, they were getting a good amount of damage. Even when they disengaged, they were getting a good amount of damage to kind of set them on course for the rest of their game. So let's see how it continues to play out, especially on this side with Moneymaker and Fnayan. 52 points so far on the day, and this is 12th and 13th place essentially here at Golden Grove. And the biggest difference maker is Bugha and Braids even have an idea.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jacob, I don't know how I feel about Moneymaker and Fnayan trying to contest Bugha and Braids, but I like the idea. If you want the qual spot, why not take out your immediate competition? We were curious of whether or not Contrap and company, we're going to try to fight here. Look at this. Rise left by himself. Peterbot and Boyo have rotated towards them. Boyo finding Muzz here. This is going to be a very interesting turn of events right now.
On one side it is VenomAgers basically kind of have them by the ropes on one side. Bugha and Braids still have to be careful here. Not sure where Moneymaker and Fnayan did actually end up at, but I don't see him on the mini-map towards the south, so my biggest guess, probably somewhere still close by. I was going to say try to take advantage of the situation, but Golden Grove is just one of those spots where you don't necessarily see a lot of lurking unless a fight is already breaking out.
Well, let's see how it's going to end up playing out here. Rise as a solo. I love this. I actually really love this. This is sort of their normal strategy. Is like, yo, let's go make the big Surge Tower. You know, normally someone's hiding in the bush when they're by themselves. But he's like, nah, let me just get back to the true and trusty Surge tag farming. Now, if Peterbot and Boyo are really smart and they end up hunting for him and see the tower, they could determine if this is worth a solo push.
I know in the beginning you kind of mentioned, not sure what necessarily going to happen. Contrap and Darcy were going Golden Grove for the majority of this tournament. They switched it up. I asked the question of where VenomAgers are going to get their early game damage from, and they instantly answer. But you're seeing a lot of these early game fights. And the reason why it's breaking out is typically we would wait until game 12, game 11, where teams try to make those big risky plays to try to rise up the leaderboard. But I feel like more and more, especially watching EU before this, they realize sometimes waiting until game 12 is just simply too late.
Yeah. Well, here we have it. We're now looking at Kings and Craze, who pushed across onto Cirque and Cynics for a second there. On the other side, you have Fnayan, Moneymaker, setting up once again another ambush play. We've seen them actually successfully take out QK and Mirops. This time they're doing it from a completely different angle. This is just madness. When they go back and watch this, they're going to be so confused as to how this team has managed to outlurk them everywhere.
I feel like sometimes their lurking is just literally in plain sight. Unfortunate for QK. Just thinks it's all uncontested. He gets taken down. Big shot for 9 onto Mirops. Gets him weak and eventually leads to the elimination. So basically 400 damage right there, while Fnayan maybe took 64.
Big eliminations there. The 9 and Moneymaker just keeping us even more entertained than we should be, because it's already grand finals weekend. The games sell themselves, and then you just have these wild plays happening left and right. Meanwhile, Clicks and Rapid, pressure was on for Clicks and Rapid to perform, to try to find their way up towards the top. They managed to do just that. And look at this. I actually really like this setup right here. You start thinking about what Clicks and Rapid have to deal with. Well, it's their immediate competition. It's Bugha, it's Braze, it's Moneymaker for 9. You could take them out. The gap between you and everyone else is 100 points. That's a whole game buffer, which means they could be 2 decent games away from a shoe-in qual spot.
Yeah, and I just like the way they're pinpointing some of the players. They're not necessarily going after global qualified teams, like you're saying, but ones that are in the same hunt as they are. And they're turning the script right now, potentially on a Moneymaker and Fnayan, but they go off towards the right, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because now they're separated. Not necessarily a big amount of damage onto Fnayan, especially with Moneymaker shockwaving back up, trying to return back into the same box. This fight, Monster, has so many different implications going on into the rest of the day. Somebody will fall below and behind the curve, and you can see Clicks immediately still getting aggressive. He's fighting for a little bit of control, but he doesn't want to let this opportunity slip through his fingers. And on the other side, Peterbot and Pollo, they're continuously trying to hunt down the first place team of Muzz and Rise.
Tournament implications after tournament implications. Peterbot, Pollo hunting down Rise. They've already gotten Muzz. Rise now down to 9 builds. Barely anything else to work with. No shockwaves to disengage as Peterbot and Pollo are looking for him. Meanwhile, Rapid and Clicks just trying to fight their immediate tournament competition here and now. These are 2 different teams, 2 different things on the line, but one singular goal, and that is success.
It's a trippy situation for Rise. Probably hasn't had his hands sweat this much in quite a long time. He can't even disengage because it'll give away too much audio. Pollo and Peterbot may not necessarily know exactly where he's at, but he knows he's in that mess of a building somewhere. So as long as they stay persistent in trying to find him, they will figure out where he's at. Getting the elimination might be a different story because we do have a second team also in the distance.
I say, what are the odds they just break the entire base of this build? Like, drop everything, because that is how committed Peterbot and Pollo are looking at the given time here. Then you have Dash and Noxie down low. Again, another bubble team that is looking for a qual spot. But Peterbot and Pollo are fighting for first right now. If they can take that Muzz and Rise, that runway starts to open up for them. Otherwise, they could just be letting this plane take off. See if they, oh no, Rise gets spotted out. What they thought was true is, and that means Rise is here. They find Muzz and Rise. 2 quick eliminations now. And what are Peterbot and Pollo going to do with this opportunity is the only opening question now.
Yeah, right there was that biggest obstacle to overcome. Muzz and Rise over second place, Monster had a 58-point lead. Over Peterbot and Pollo, a 93-point lead. So just them going down here simply just isn't enough to overthrow a team like Muzz and Rise, especially considering, you know, everybody down below them on the leaderboard has had instances, not only today, but throughout the weekend, that mistakes can and will happen at certain points in time. So other teams still need to have that solid performance here, just like Acorn and Bolts. They have picked up the tempo here. They have been playing phenomenally well as a full duo as opposed to separate solo clutches. So again, this one, when it comes to the NAFNCS, has to be so exciting no matter who you're a fan of.
Or exhausting if you see your favorite teams get so close and they get pulled back into the water. That's what we're seeing with Muzz and Rise, who have now been parked on ice with their 60-point lead. A 60-point lead for y'all watching at home. If you've never really watched how close a tournament competition might be, it might feel like they're so far ahead, 514 points versus everyone else in the 400 range, but that is only a good game. A good game separates them. But with 3 games left, this and 2 more, it's going to be a super close competition now moving forward.
Reed and Cooper trying to set up the rotation in the backside of Wonky Land. They almost look to cut back inside, but that's the same thing that kind of catches them out of position. Veno Ager's doing a good amount of damage onto Reed, not necessarily taking too much damage back. as they continue to rotate out. And that's the thing, little victories. Veno and Agers, a little bit of damage here, a little bit of damage there, continuously stay above the damage threshold, but they still have to be careful. Aiden and Clixie on the outskirts of Wonky Land as well can disrupt everything they have going on.
Like this from Yamso and Josh, as they're not trying to do anything risky here, playing this massive base. Yamso at the bottom side to see if anyone ends up coming up and out. Just try to look and fish for some tags. And in the end, they are slowly creeping their way up, staying relatively consistent, and honestly starting to pull ahead, get closer as they get closer and closer to the top 5.
Yeah, not necessarily safe yet. They're inside of the bubble for that global championship spot. But again, 37 points is all team like Golden. I would say Golden and Ozone, but they already have it secured. So they actually have a decent gap over the competition. Outside of Clix and Rapid, the next team they do have to worry about is Bugha and Braids. See where the zone continues to pull towards the southeastern part of the map, over towards the Shaken Sanctuary. So again, coming into today, Curve and Higgs had the most distance traveled on the map by far, and I think that's going to continue to be the case here, all the way from Lifty Lodge. And you can see there's one of the few teams that cannot play into that heal-off win condition because the amount of storm they actually taking.
Yeah, unless you get an incredible elim along the way, which refreshes you, it's so unlikely that they're able to do that towards the end game. Well, what was working for Braids and Bugha seemed to continue to be going that way. They still have a little bit of damage over the surge line that they need. And then, of course, they're sitting on a multitude of extra heals here with the Mending Machine in sight. And the zone's kind of on their side, so this is a pretty favorable Game 10 for them.
Yeah, you can kind of see why. They were getting 4th place after 4th place after 4th place to start the day today. And honestly, this is something that we've seen Bugha do, even qualifying for the last global championship. It came down to the last game, but it was consistency in the end that really kind of helped pull him through. As Clix Rapid trying to get another elimination here. It's 20 caught out by himself. Chim already out. So even though that's their 2nd elimination of the game, that's 8 points off straight eliminations alone.
Yeah, I was really curious as to why they would have taken that fight, but clearly they had a massive advantage. Clix and Rapid had plenty of damage going into that. It's not like they needed any surge or had surge issues. That just surely sets them up even further away from having those problems. And then they pulled the zone, so now they're sitting on the zone, max material, extra heals to work with. This is actually very good for Clix and Rapid. Game 10 seems to be put in the bag.
Not only them, but Liam and Jace, Acorn Bolts, maybe Madden and Chance as well. And kind of they're on the edge of the zone, so they're going to be able to look towards the side and continue to kind of hurt anybody's chances as they make their way in. Ritual and Cold not too far away from Peterbot and Poyo. Not only in-game, but on the leaderboard as well. 3rd and 4th place, staring each other down before Webster and Cryptid make their appearance, gain the attention just a little bit. Any damage is better than no damage. Keep progressing in this game, but it's a far pool for everybody involved.
How incredible would it be if Peterbot and Poyo clash against 2nd and 3rd on the standings, you know? Either way, then we won't get to see that here. Now we get to see Kanyan be the first to fall here as they get the big elimination and refresh there. That's Siphon, that's extra material, and plenty more to take for the road here. He thought twice about the chug, hoping that it was going to be full. Instead, they're going to use it.
Just see how they rotate on out, because everybody else already quick to the punch to go ahead and rotate to a better position. Veno and Agers as well. Kind of built their base on the line and kind of using that point of view as their advantage. Already getting some good damage onto one. Now looking over at Okus and Zonda, getting damage onto them as well. And the zone is hurting right now. 2 tick per, and it's going to quickly move into a 5. So they are literally on a less than 10-second clock to try to make their way in. And even when they finally do, they're still in the line of sight of Veno and Agers.
Good pressure coming out from them. Even now, Agers, Veno thinking about chopping down those builds there. I'm just going to go ahead and break the foundation out. There's no way this team dips back into the storm there either. So here they see them reinforce. Just continuing to give them something to think about. Oh, no, wait. Veno went into the storm with the side angle. Veno is the lurkiest player on the NA region at the moment. don't care what anyone says. He just plays outside the box. This is why he's so successful.
This is why he's contending right now. He's a Major 1 champion, coming back from a 100-point deficit. Bolts does go down, though. And you can see throughout the course of these last couple of zones, it's been Storm Surge that's been ailing Peterbot and Pollo again, eventually leading to Pollo's downfall. Even though they're above the damage threshold, you can see that the position that it put them in. Multiple teams from the backside of zone were shooting at Pollo. Now they're putting their focus onto Peterbot, just trying not to let ease up on any of this pressure. And if you look at the loadout, 1 shockwave, 1 smoke, Mini's left in the tank, so he's really down to almost nothing.
I was just saying, how ironic that Pollo just gives Bolts a bit of his own medicine. The man who normally destroys players as he likes to fly by gets taken out, but in the end, Pollo doesn't get to celebrate in the victory. Peterbot by himself. You've already saw the stats time and time again, showcasing how Pollo has been the one leading with solo clutch points, but Peterbot has now had his second opportunity here to show us that he can do it as well. First, though, has to kind of handle the fight here. Takes down Encrypted. It's going to be a very welcome Siphon. There goes the first. Can he get the second? It's Acorn in the storm here.
Acorn was able to get one of them as well. Siphon finally turning off, but keeping him relatively healthy. Peterbot's gonna go down. The Mythic Warforged again from Acorn. They made an effort. They took down Muzz and Rise, but eventually they fall, so all they did was open up the door for everybody else. Bugha, Active Surge, Brain's already down to 148 below the damage threshold, and by the time he's done healing here, he'll have no extra shields or HP to regain.
Well, if you're Muzz and you're Rise, you're thinking with Acorn and Bolts, or really just Acorn standing right now, if they fall early, this is perfect. That means the lead remains pretty heavily. It's not what we thought we were going to see, but it's what seems to be unfolding now. Bugha trying to fight Victor V and Queasy there on the rotate. That's going to be a tough fight. 22 below, though. Great tags there to keep them alive, but no. The update comes through. He still has more to worry about, and he's already out of heals.
Yeah, just when it looked like he was going to get above that damage threshold, we move from the 6th to the 7th zone. He falls back down below. He is still landing shot after shot, and the blessing is it's not Active Surge just yet. Will take him down. He's only 36 below, but again, the active lobby is tossing, turning that threshold all around. This is his last moment right here. 44 above. He sees Queasy in his line of sight, and even he's running out of builds.
He thought about it. He almost caught Queasy there with the lurk play, and he's 44 above somehow, but no, he gets spotted out. It's by visuals there in the distance, and finally we see Queasy and Victor V make an endgame healthily. And just like that, they're the ones on top. So look out for that from them. Meanwhile, Curve and Batman Bugha trying to make the comeback now from the low ground. They've had some difficult kind of stoppages happen, making it far into the games, but this seems to be the best we've seen them shaped up. Although Batman Bugha, actually, now that I look at it, he's only down to 4 builds. So Jacob, they're going to be crashing in soon.
Yeah, they're going to need an elimination. No matter how they find it, they just know they need it. It's called the Ritual. They find at least one. A whole nother team. Multiple teams just trying to go ahead and burn through those materials. Get inside of the box. Victor V. Queasy again on that high ground. Going into this game, Monster, 245 points for Victor V. and Queasy. They need 100 points. A gap to close throughout these next 2 games. And being on high ground, this could be the position to do it in.
This is kind of crazy, though. Cole just fell when they had the chance to actually overtake first place in this game. Now they have to clutch up. You see Acorn earning points, by the way, still making the most of the opportunity he's been gifted. And then you have Yamzo Josh slowly, surely earning Elim after Elim. They're now at 4 in the top 19 and counting.
Still anybody's game as they're trying to control that whole low ground. You can kind of see it going up that hill just a little bit. It's not a large mountain, but it definitely requires just a little bit of planning. That's why you see proactivity coming from some of those duos, quickly shockwaving up to that elevation, not necessarily to the front side of the zone, but Ritual here, you're talking about a chance to take first place here along with Acorn. Reed still battling for a top 10 spot. Venom is trying to keep themselves attacked inside of the top 10. There is just so much going on in this end game.
Yeah, Reed and Cooper coming into this were in 17th place as well. But look at Venom go. He actually shuts that dream down and takes down Reed. Meanwhile, high ground visuals. He already took down Booga. Now they're trying to dethrone Queasy and Victor V. This is Queasy and Victor V's chance to get back in the running here for a qualification spot.
That's Visuals and Threats trying to go ahead and make that play, take the high ground. One of the best ways to go ahead and jump up that leaderboard is put yourself in the driver's seat. Venno's still lurking back. Decent amount of materials, which is building and opening up, giving himself some extra space. Queasy is down, but it's not without a fight. Victor V will not be denied. He gets back-to-back eliminations here. A huge 8-point jump by him, by himself, and he remains on top of the throne.
And that's how you get yourself into the top 10 as well. Meanwhile, look at all the solos still standing here. Victor finds another one as he takes down Josh, and then Ritual just trying to rat his way through the builds. Meanwhile, Venom looks up the high ground. He recognizes just a single player. He finds a shot. Victor's on 1 HP. Venom looks for him, loses him, but in the end, he gets the placement, and the damage goes through. And now it's all up to Venom, but Venom's out of material. He sees Ozone, and this is looking like a solo clash up here.
Yeah, big chunk of fall damage, but sometimes there's no other option. Down below, Sharkman and Yuz out of nowhere, getting that knock onto Fanayan. Revenge for earlier on in the tournament, but Moneymaker left by himself. Shockwaving up. This is all solos left alive here. Top 4 situation. Moneymaker goes up and over that one into the house to try to buy himself time to get these heals off. Our final 4, and Sharkman is one of them.
Incredible effort, by the way, from Moneymaker to make it this far. But what more can you ask for from him? Sharkman and Yuz are trying to do it. Sharkman is the healthiest. Moneymaker takes down Ozone there for the siphon. Gives him a little bit of builds to work with. He's got a shield as well. This can still go either way.
Moneymaker needs this to stay in contention. It's a huge pick-me-up game, but Sharkman with a little bit of advantage. 150 on the Chug, and it's not going to matter. Moneymaker and Fanayan from EU, they invest everything for one of those global championship spots, and with a win monster, they are getting closer and closer.
And they did that off the new drop spot. They landed near Booga. They wanted to see what their competition was looking like, and they managed to pull a win.
Damn.
Man, I swear it almost sucks that Muzz is still in first. It kind of always would have been better if Cold was in first, and that takes the attention of Pete. But okay, these two teams are really close. If Pete wants to do this, he can actually try and go from Muzz into Coldplay. I don't even know though. I guess it's holy crap. All right. Where's Clicks for? Wait, Clicks dropped out of Land Qual? Oh no, Moneymaker and Fanayan did so well they bumped Clicks out of Land Qual. Oh, dude, how? Wait, what? Money just went up 3 places, bro. Oh no, it's top 10 for LAN, and Clicks and Raptor in 11. They're only 7 points behind though. Oh shit. Dude, that was their worst game is when they got zoned. Like I said, man, no one's ready for the South zones. Okay, this is actually going to be a crazy finish. Holy.
Literally, the last game that they played at 42nd place, the 2 eliminations, going down really early, but they've changed up their game plan. They changed up
Yo, Money's getting all the hate dude today, man. He went after Pete. He's knocking Clicks out. Like, dude, welcome to NA Money. You're not winning over a lot of fans.
When it came down to the 1v1, Moneymaker absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to show you Clicks died chat. I got the clip. I'll show after this.
Patiently wait for Sharkman to make a misplay, this little edit into the elimination, and that is why they're going to be walking away with a victory royale.
It was Chapter 5 Season 1. No way. There you go, chat. My apologies. You guys are right. I could have sworn it was Hammer Season for some reason. Don't be born only chat. My apologies. Could have sworn it was Chapter 4 Season 1. I was so sure.
Obviously, the big question will be.
Yeah, Yomzo Rise only played 10 games. Yeah, they went from first day 1 to 8th day 2. You're right. Chapter 5 Season 1. So it was that was a good ass season.
To that feed, it's safe.
Did something happen to them in Hammer Season then as well?
Take a look at the leaderboard after this break. When return 2 games.
I was so sure it was Chapter 4.
Get ready for that, fam. Get ready.
Yeah, Fencing Fields, man. Yeah. All right, let's see the Clicks clip chat. Let's see how Clicks died here. Let's see. What are we rocking with here? How do we go down? 46 build, 230 in the chug. Okay, we're trying to make it a refresh. Clicks runs. Yo, who? Oh no! Oh no! Dude, I guess the solo just kept pushing us, but oh no, dude. For how well they played today, holy, that's brutal. Dude, that's what knocks them out of land qual. Oh gosh. That is so brutal, dude. Well, I think the solo just kept chopping them, but I guess they kind of had to get in there. I don't know. Again, I have to see more of the context of why they're in that position, but yeah, that's brutal. Yo, what's up, NJC? How did things were pulled on them? I mean, like I said, sometimes zone pulling two teams makes them play worse. I was kind of kidding, but I kind of wasn't. We had that happened really badly to Sky and Scroll. It was I think it was the season they were just winning everything, and the worst corner they had was when they pulled more zones because they weren't ready for it. Oh yeah, Pred. Sorry, yeah, Pred. My bad. Who is it for the Pred? Who was that for the Pred? Who was it? It was Venom? Okay, cool. I actually want to see some of the damage ratio stats too. Right, Venom, Pred. Oh, I just added them too. All right. Dude, this is such a good leaderboard. All right, I'll put 5 minutes on the Pred, not 10 minutes. It's my bad. Okay. Bro, Richie, okay. I want to see Richie start going crazy here. I know stats don't tell the full picture. Richie's a pretty hardcore IGL, but I think Richie can do better than this. I think they could. Honestly, Richie could win this. They've got a bit more room to play even better. I think Bolt's got some room to play even better too. I think Poyo and Pete are doing well, but I think Poyo can go even crazier. Josh and Zoe in 6 is still so impressive. Bro, Golden, can we talk about Golden Ozone though? What fucking day are they? Oh my god. Dude, that is going so under the radar. Bro, Golden Ozone have come 5th, 3rd today. Holy day 2 Golden Ozone. That is disgusting. Because they weren't even anywhere near top 10 to start today. They've already got the global spot, which is like, so it doesn't matter as much. And they're obviously a like less known team, but holy shit, that's a comeback. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, chat. I very much am. Thank you for all the followers on Twitch and the subs on YouTube. If you guys are new, I stream every single Fortnite tournament, but I'm not going to try and pretend they're all this exciting. I will be real, but if you like Fortnite tournaments, I am live to them.
I just got a phone with like 2K.
Oh.
I called him.
Oh.
Say, man, listen, I know you saw it, but Moneymaker got themselves a big 3-on game in 10. How do you feel about that? He just laughed at me for several minutes. We had to come back onto the broadcast. So shout out to Levin. Yes. Okay.
Sounds like Levin.
I was probably like, dude, what? Moneymaker and I get themselves the victory out in game number 10. That's crazy. As we bring this report, if you take a look at this, can you maybe talk us through current placements right now? Move up 3 placements in the top 10. But what's qualification, David?
Yeah, so obviously we got a couple of our teams that are.
Is your dog slowing down? Do they have trouble getting up, walking, or going up the stairs?
Before Antinol Plus, Zuzu was living a life full of discomfort.
Antinol Plus is to improve mobility and supports long-term joint health.
Then I found Antinol Plus, and I can hear his little patters as he comes up the stairs.
I've seen dogs' lives transform with Antinol Plus, with results in as little as 30 days.
It's easy to see.
A single point, and now they're only behind by just 16 points. That being said, though, Kelly,
does Money Shoot flicks this game?
To go ahead and win this thing.
That's a good call. Sanctuary, I feel like, is very teenable, and it's like double win, but it's also double lose. If he then goes down to clicks, that's even worse, though. Maybe if they've prepped a Sanctuary teeny strat, it could be the time to pull it out. That's not a bad call.
Necessarily what they're doing
if they
wrong,
prepped
or more
it,
so
maybe.
what everyone's doing differently from game number 1. Maybe they've auto-reviewed. Maybe they actually looked towards Ritual and Pull to see what they were doing successfully. And we saw in that game, I believe it was actually Ritual that came down to a solo around zone 9. Unfortunately, he had no heals, so inevitably he was going to go down. But for the fact that they were able to solidify themselves in day number 1 so confidently is part of the reason why they are still in 2nd place. I mean, heck, they they didn't do that well in that game, and they went up a placement spot, and that just goes to show how volatile our top leaderboard is. I mean, Peterbot and Poyo literally landed on Muzz and Rise, and even got the eliminations down onto Muzz there, and even they themselves went down on our leaderboard. So even with these plays, these minds going into these games, kind of trying to change things just a little bit. If you don't make the right play, everything.
Rise is doing great.
Right.
Let me see actually. Let's see the stats. Let's see the leader stats right now. Let's see where are we at. So we've got Veno's on 31 elims, Cold's on 26, Curve's on 26, Rise 25, Aegis 23. Most damage is still Cold, almost 8k. Poyo and Pete in second and third though. Veno looking great. Best damage ratio Cold. Muzz on a 2.08 though. Victor V on 2.01, but then Pete Poyo fourth and fifth too. So, man.
He is moving on another level. Remember, he already won. He is
Veno's crazy, but Veno's so good,
reigning
man.
champion from last major, and he comes in and he's pulling off stuff like solo clutches in the 11th hour of the tournament, fighting for these spots. I mean, Vivian.
Clicks in Qual, no chat. Clicks is 1 point outside of Qual.
Fortnite.
Clicks is 1 place outside of Qual right now, behind Money and Fanayan.
He might have missed it, but yeah, Venom still kind of made this happen. But take a look at where he currently is on these highlights. I mean, he's like top 20, and he's forced to go ahead and break it down.
Last one you plays on NA. So Queasy came to NA. His girlfriend lives in NA, and he was traveling here a lot anyway, so he just came and competed. Veno's been talking about wanting to come to NA to like focus on content and compete, but not as seriously for a while now. And Money and Fanayan just came this season kind of last minute because Ken Bean said Money could live with him. Oh, wait, Veno could have hit that. I mean, yeah. If Veno hit that pump, he was crouched.
Actually take that fight at the POI itself, but instead kind of rotated out and pick.
No, Veno is taking it serious. But Veno originally was like, yo, I want to come to NA, I want to focus on content more. Like, I'm still hungry to compete, but not as much. Like, you know what I mean?
And for Veno to kind of identify that Victor V was a little weak there, being able to kind
And then he won
of go on the
FNCS,
low ground, but also identify the high ground is weak and then steal it for himself.
Hey,
But
Louis
he
with
kind of
Brian?
went out to just all solos in that moment. A very smart play for him, and that's part of the reason why he was able to get so many placement points on that. But of course, we gotta talk about them. I mean, Eomzo and Josh right now, and I really do need to speak on Josh because this kid is just playing out of his mind
Josh.
right now. And Eomzo, you gotta feel like on his side and just playing, commanding, making sure the IGL
Josh is
in
currently
these
playing out of his mind.
is working so well.
Do you know how you
for them.
girls play out of
When it
your
comes to
mind?
the eliminations,
You can get
Josh is
absolute
the
mouse
one
pads
who's
just like
leading
Josh, Jack. You want to have good mechs like Josh, good aim, have your setup look clean as fuck, support me and my brother's small business. Check out absolute.com.
Community to be uncontested.
Alright, chat.
This weekend,
I had to do it.
I think they were
Love you, Josh. That's my fucking go right there.
After which they have been uncontested. So 8 games to kind of work with in terms of being uncontested. It's netting them this 6th
Can
place.
you play me call? Come on.
Game number 10, they kind of bounced back after games 8 and 9.
You came first and second on EU, bro. I'm slowly getting the NA boys, man.
Yeah, Josh Leonzo currently sitting in
Josh
sixth place.
swapped to somebody. He's been looking good.
Right, top 10 as it currently stands is that global championship qualification spot. So sitting in 6th place.
Hey, Muzz still counts. Muzz rocks the sleeve. Muzz is a filthy glass mouse pad user. He lost the sleeve, so I'll take it.
Man, but that's the problem, right? There is 2 games left to go. We've seen crazy lurk plays. We've seen players decide to land up on different spots. We've seen Peterbot and Poyo decide I'm going to land Sinister and then immediately.
Small business chat. By definition of a small business, it's a small business chat.
With 2 games.
It's literally, it's 2 full-time staff members and 2 part-time staff members.
Can impact these standings. Oh my gosh, guys.
Chat, by the little definition, it's a small business. Okay, I'm extremely fortunate, and thank you for supporting me so I can then use that fortunateness to help out my brother and his fiance and employ them for Arcaloop. But it is literally by definition a small business. And
Love to go. To start preparing ourselves for this competition. Casters, over to you.
Thank you, Zeke. Yeah, this is one of the most unpredictable NA championship runs we have ever seen here, Jacob.
Yeah, typically in a lobby like this, you have one team maybe lurking around, Peterbot and Poyo doing it. But now you have Peterbot and Poyo, Veno, Aegis, you have Moneymaker and Fernine. Everybody pulling out every single trick. They're like magicians pulling a rabbit out of a hat. At the end of this day, I'm not sure who I think can actually hoist that trophy.
Yeah, and even with Muzz and Rise fall in there, they maintain their lead. But more importantly, we have a lot of teams in the running now. So let's see how it plays out here for game number 11.
2 games left and a stacked leaderboard. Hopefully everybody at home is enjoying this as much as we are. And you can kind of see right now the bus path all the way towards the north for the most part, east to west. So a lot of those teams on the south side of the map might have a slower time getting to their drop.
Majors, Venno completely uncontested now. They've managed to push back not only Chance's team there, but Controp's team as well, who landed just a little too close for their liking as they ended up keying them. I'm thinking Venno and Agers, though, are going to have a lot to think about now, right? That early damage, those big points they were earning and kind of solidifying early on. What strategy do they have when they have the drop open for themselves?
Yeah, especially with no ability to get early Storm Surge, you're going to have to lurk for it. But Moneymaker, by himself, Dozier and Ishu actually disengage out of that fight. I'm not sure if they know Moneymaker. They're so low. No, they didn't get the memo. Moneymaker by himself getting that first down onto Ishu for Nine, definitely closing the distance now, realizing they at least got what they came for. That's going to be the first of what could be many eliminations here.
Tough spot for Dozier and Ishu to be in, especially after finally starting to get a couple of points put on the leaderboards. Now, Nine and Moneymaker continue to do what they do best. And that is just float around the map and earn points. Think about this. They're slowly inching their way deeper and deeper into the tournament standings, further solidifying a potential qualification spot. Right now, the qual gap between them is about 3 different teams because there's a lot of qualified teams in between them. And it gets to basically Clix's duo and Victor V. But that's about 40 points. So if Vic and Queasy have another massive game like they had before, they'll jump up into the conversation. But if not, you'll have teams like Clix possibly overjump into the standings as well.
And typically throughout the course of a tournament, you know what I'm saying, that's 12 games. Maybe you can have 3 bad games, 4 if you're lucky. But at this stage of the game, there's no more time for bad games. You have to go ahead and execute every opportunity here. And that's what Venno Agers are doing. Nobody's contesting their drop. So they're immediately in back-to-back games going on the hunt. Contrap, Darcy were that team in the last game. And for a moment there, it was looking like Aoxy and JoJo Fishy.
Like this from CDZ. Playing defense right now with Peter and Boyer on the hunt here, trying to earn themselves some early points, but more importantly, that extra damage that they've had seemingly trouble with, right? Like for the most part, we haven't really seen them too far in ahead on the damage threshold. They've kind of been middling as far as mid-game goes in their comfort with the first Storm Surge warnings. So these are some really great key eliminations here.
Yeah, especially for them to close the gap, and it's quite a gap for them to close. If they want first place, that is around 73 points for them to overcome. With that elimination, is definitely going to be under 70, but still a long journey for them with 2 games left to do it. And it does look like now that they already got those eliminations on Dozier and Ishu, you already know Kyan and his duo are just kind of lurking around up above. They may not know exactly where they're positioned, which exact box, which side of it, but they know they are around, and they don't want to let that opportunity because they have a looting advantage over Moneymaker and Fnayan.
It's funny how they just feel very comfortable and content with waiting things out regardless of the situation. Probably one of the more patient duos we've seen this weekend. Clix and Rapid sticking to the true and trusty strategy. But we saw them get those diminishing returns before, right? Trying to do those fast rotates to fight the teams nearby, and since then, they haven't really tried to flex that strategy again. Curious how this one's going to play out, because they will need to try to maintain that consistency, that pacing that they have set for themselves here today as they kind of fought their way back into the race. Meanwhile, Muzz and Rise, probably a much more high alert here, right, Jacob?
Yeah, they definitely have to be. They're still the team to be in first place. Just because the gap closed doesn't mean, you know, anybody else is going to try to make a run for it. You know, Josh Niamzo, Higgs, and Curve were a little bit further down that leaderboard and need them to have a relatively close to 0-point game if they want to take that first place spot. We know just the implications, and when a leaderboard that is actually this stacked, sometimes you don't want to take the risk because you want to go ahead and qualify to globals.
Well, now we have Cold and Ritual really close to Acorn and Bolts, in between Yamzo and Josh, right next to Muzz and Rise. What is this dangerous triage unfolding here. This is kind of interesting to say the least.
Still relatively early, so you know a lot of these teams will continue to rotate throughout the course of the game. But now that they're positioned here, rotating out, well, won't come without its own risk, whether you're shockwading from distance or just trying to get the effect and run out. Acorn bolts are there, but Muzz and Rise will definitely have that bird's eye view to see everything. Is Batman, Booga, and Higgs, aka, I should say Higgs and Curve, coming off early from Lifty. Most of the games that we've seen throughout the weekend, they've stayed up there at Lifty Lodge. They have the extra med kits, they have the gold, they have the mending machine, but this is one of the first games that we've actually at least seen on stream that they are rotating early outside of where they normally do.
Yeah, I was looking at their positioning here, and I was thinking the same thing to myself, like, wait, this looks a lot different than any other positioning we've seen from them this early into the game. Seems like it's working out well. They've targeted Dash and Noxie here. Dash and Noxie, whom, by the way, if it wasn't for them falling early 2 games ago, they would be inside the top 10. They were starting to get really, really close. They're one of the few teams that are on the bubble as well. Can't count out anyone. It's for one good game away from really propelling teams into the race once again. Josh Young's on the other side, though. Just north of Sinister Strip.
You know, even though they're actually playing pretty good, decently consistent, you know, they'd have a victory royale with 11 eliminations. But outside of that, they haven't really had any phenomenal pop-off performances. Something, you know, you could tell your parents about after a good day. You know, 9th place, 14th, 28th, 15th, and then obviously that first place. I think the thing that's kind of keeping them in contention is their ability to get eliminations. And some of these teams are, you know, going to rely on consistent placements, picking up eliminations as they naturally come throughout the course of the game, and others, especially with the leaderboard this close, are going to make some attempts here to try to get 1 elimination here, 2 eliminations there, and try to add up those points over time.
That's right. The elims are definitely consistent, but you called it, the placement points far and few between. Just have to see them tighten that up here in these final 2 rounds to really remain in for their spot to globals. Meanwhile, all of these very, very legitimate teams that could be your next champions are just sitting still, kind of waiting this one out. This is where the tension starts to build in the mid-game. Meanwhile, Venno and Agers, no strangers to the storm, of course. This time uncontested, though, right? So we haven't seen the warning just yet. We haven't really seen what kind of pressures they're going to have to deal with now that they're uncontested, but that's a completely different scenario than we've had from them all weekend long.
Gotta be careful for rotating through those quarters. The amount of times I've seen people get sidelined, surprised, especially since you don't know what's lying on the other end. Clicks and Rapid, we join in them versus Curly and Tyler. It's gonna be a moment for Clicks and Rapid, relatively safely for the most part. Try to go ahead and maximize their surge. Not too many teams close by looking in the distance just yet. But as soon as they gain that attention, that's when the risk factor will definitely increase. But you can see Rapid, this tempo is slowing down, trying to pick through the cone, getting information, but it's Peterbot and Poyo just looking all around. They're probably the highest elevated on the map as of now, so they definitely have that bird's eye view.
Yeah, they can see all the action taking place all around them. Meanwhile, Venno, though, you said you gotta be careful taking these porta potties. There was a team on the other side, go figure, just waiting to see what was gonna go down. And that's unfortunate.
I would really expect, you know, Venno to kind of assess the risk factor in a situation like that. That's a mistake I don't necessarily see someone of his caliber make very often. Obviously, jump on board. Peterbot, Poyo got 1 eliminations, building the confidence here for this game. We know we saw Peterbot land a couple tags in the distance onto that Clicks Rapid fight against Curly and Tyler. So again, it's just all progression, but it's also the same reason why they did go down in 28th place. They had 5 eliminations, and you'd think they'd be well above Surge, but it's just taking too much damage in some of those fights. They were kind of down below the damage threshold and eventually put into a bad spot.
They obviously, Jojo Fishy recognizing the danger. They double back to Latte Landing. Probably didn't check the reboot ban. Definitely hit the mending machine on the way there. and they have all the information of who and where Agers is. And Agers has to be thinking, man, just can't get enough of this team. There's been a few times where they got the best of Aoxy and JoJo, but I'm trying to think to myself, what's in it for Aoxy and JoJo right now? They've gotten the damage, they got the initial win. Yeah, they're just a long way from the call spot, so they're going to need a really big game. We'll see if this is worth waiting around for. Agers clearly thinks it's definitely not worth the risk taking the fight, so he's already gone.
Yeah, especially since kind of the unpredictable factor of a team like Aoxy and JoJo Fish, you can expect them to rotate on out because you don't expect them to be there in the first place. My biggest hint was maybe they saw Veno go down the feed, knowing that they're uncontested. It's the safest place for them to venture back to. Either way, Moneymaker and For9, 2 eliminations off that off spawn. You can see they're trying to qualify for their first land since the 2023 Global Championship, another duo competition. So we're always talking about like longevity between a lot of teams and whether it's trios or duos. I almost got to imagine this has to be one of the longer standing duos that we do have in Fortnite.
Yeah, most definitely. And you got to respect a team that even if they have a rough year, they thug it out. They, you know what I'm saying, get back to the grind and make drastic moves like moving to NA to take a qual spot away. And they're so close right now. So definitely commendable, respectable, and they're putting up the numbers. They've never looked better.
Just a quick peek. Muzz and Rise, a very good zone for them. It's very familiar, reminiscent of some of those zones earlier on. Even the Victory Royale that they did have, it's all working one way or another in that same factor. Havoc, Cat Awesomer on the side. You can kind of see they're both playing for that mending machine, that Moneymaker and For9 kind of have a little bit more priority over. So you almost got to wait for them to rotate on out, unless you're ready to take that risk. But even if they do, it's not just these 2 teams here. You see towards the south about 3 teams there around Calamari trying to make their way in, and then 1 more towards the north. That's Skittles and Kai in there towards the north side of the map, a team that they've already fought once towards the Chop Shop in this game.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, for a second there, I was seeing how low their health was getting, but they're just really trying to maximize their time right now in the storm. Already starting to move. A lot of teams lurking nearby. Have a Vive there, another duo in the distance. Here we get to get another look at Quicksilver Rapid, who I believe we saw taking a bit of a scrappy fight, but didn't really go anywhere for them. Not really too much of a favorite of their material counts right there. Click's definitely looking a little light. And the damage looking not too hot either. They put themselves in a pretty tough spot here at the bottom of the river. This could be a focal point for all the teams nearby.
Yeah, especially since those teams on the other side, they're a little bit more elevated. Marops over there in the distance, Hobby and Minished as well. And even though they're above the damage threshold here in this zone, if they don't get a single shot to connect, they will fall below in the next zone. So they got to be proactive. And Acorn and Bolt's in that same type of pressure cooker. But they're 118 above. You know, they're looking for more and more of these opportunities. On the flip side, though, Agers does get Veno back, but you can see it was just a sacrifice. He's not going to return the favor. Rightfully so, he can't. This is going to go from a 2-tick zone to a 5-tick zone, and he is 200 below the damage threshold.
Already, so Agers got the pickup. Veno's now left to play by himself. You said it, they're way off the damage threshold needed. What's the play here? You have a couple of teams in the distance. Aoxy was just taken out by Cooper and Reed, so JoJo's solo there. So you can tell it's the same sort of teams, right? Clashing back and forth here. This is a tough spot to be in right now.
Yeah, the main thing right now isn't necessarily that there's not too many targets because you see them right in front. It's the shockwave, the lack of it that I'm really worried about. He's trying to make a last dash, but he doesn't get it. Like you're saying, the storm surge, all of it working against Veno and Agers in this game.
That 5-tick came through. The damage started flying down. Such a rough spot to be in. Clicks Rapid, though, find Tyler there with a massive elimination. Think about that. They were 80 damage above in position in one of the worst spots you could be in on that beach, but they moved quickly and find themselves now very much in the race here. Veno and Agers is down and out, though. That's going to put them in just a small, maybe, potentially questionable situation for the consistency qual spot. They do have quite the lead though, right? Like as far as where they're at right now, 465 is a good spot to be in, but we have seen stranger things happen.
Yeah, roughly at the beginning edge, around a 12 placement lead. Obviously 4 eliminations, so definitely could go out the window at a moment's notice, especially the way these games have been going. Ritual and Cold, 300 plus damage above the threshold. Again, another one of these teams, they position themselves on the edge. We've seen this do this already today so far, and they just look back and they just try to put shots on all these teams that are just in shambles, just trying to make their way in. There goes another elimination. And you said this yourself. That's the thing that makes this team so dangerous, is they don't greed for any of that loot. They just take what they can get and just keep it moving.
Now I want to start getting these updates with the likes of Peterbot and Boyo. How are they looking for this end game? Things are starting to line up for them, but they're only 70 above. This is going to be a big, big problem, and they know it too. Remember, things turn off around the 40-player mark, so several teams have to fall from here till then. Victor V and Queasy, we've kind of forgotten about them as things sort of got quiet. We started putting our focus in other places, right? The teams that are in for the win, and then you have them slowly inching their way up. Muzz and Rise are alive and kicking right now. No points earned though, Jacob, so they haven't quite started to take off just yet, but we know it's the end game where they strike best.
Especially since they're free and clear. They got their early game plan down packed. They got themselves a cushion for Surge. 12 players need to go down. Even Ritual and Cold again sticking to the backside of the zone, just landing a massive amount of damage and eventually getting a knock onto Curve. He does land on the other side, so Higgs does have one opportunity to try and get that revive. They're over 500 damage above the threshold. You can see they have more than enough heals to get Curve up to tip-top shape, so they have definitely dodged one right there.
That's a crazy dodge, by the way, because they're only in 7th place. Remember, the ball is 8 and below. Such a close spot to be in, but the pickup is good, so we can't come out just yet. Meanwhile, Muzz gets the worst type of lobby focus you can hope for. It's from the high ground teams handled low. I was going to say, I'm not sure elevating's going to work here, but it does at the end. He makes the right decision. And now Surge is active, and he's actually below. This is so rough.
They're still looking off in their direction, probably seeing him peek, make a window, trying to get through. 7 seconds, 25 damage. One tick is all he can take, and right now it almost seems like he's admitting defeat, almost trying to not give up any of those points, and they actually go on over to Booga and Braids that get the last shot, leading to that elimination. Javi and Aminish. We saw it was Victor V and Queasy at one point. They're all the way on the low ground towards the other side of the zone, so as it now, it's Javi and Aminish that are looking to take the high ground.
Batman Booga, Curve still alive, Peterbot, Boyo still standing, Cold and Ritual still in this game as well. And the problem is now that Muzz and Rise's lead will surely change hands here. Taking a look at Peterbot and Boyo's situation, taking a look at Ritual's situation. They're about to shockwave their way into the new zone. They're already making rotates. High ground looking very much solidified. You saw as people were looking up, it wasn't looking too good, but as we jump around, Cold actually falls stands HQ.
Yeah, with first place down, second place down to a solo. That's where the point gap starts to open up. From second to third place, it's 20 points, and it continues to kind of spread even more down below that on the leaderboard for Javi and Aminish. It's not necessarily global, it's bragging rights, it's money, it's a chance to make a comeback of the ages, just like Ritual here. 16 points down to start this game, and now he's feeling the pressure all around the lobby. Gets stuck in the tree for a short second. He's risking too much exposure there, trying to use that shockwave to fly over instead of through.
Yeah, definitely like this right here. But they have to change layers. They have to play for a refresh. This is why they're forcing their way in. Boyo finds one. Someone's on his heels. It's actually Virgo. But he eases up the pressure, and Boyo gets away with being able to stay alive for a second there. You're talking about teams that need to change layers. Ritual jumps down as well. You can see him just scrambling here as he's already lost Cold. Trying to work his way through. Barely any mats here. Just a couple heals. He's going to have to go ahead and do what he can with this, but so many different teams in this end game here. This is going to start to condense the points up at the top.
Yeah, with this being the last 2 games, all these little moments matter. Every point really does make the difference, especially for Acorn and Bolt. 3rd place going into this game. They have a shot at first, just like any other. Peterbot and Pollo are trying to play for the high ground. They get overthrown once, but they replay it, return back up. Hobby and Amish are now on the back foot. Pollo is just running wild, but the spray is coming in from all directions. Finally, Peterbot shows up, alleviates that pressure, leads to the downfall of Amish, but Pollo's also on the low ground as well.
He didn't see Hobby. Hobby was actually lurking in the storm there, but he misses the important shot, and he delivers the loot for Peterbot and Pollo. But now the low ground team start to take focus to them. Acorn Bolt see what's going on here. Ozone and Golden as well are lurking nearby, and there's a lot of teams here looking to set themselves up for a new high ground. Take Bolt, Acorn trying to get their feet back in the race here. They're at 4 eliminations and still looking at peaking for high ground.
He even got everything going down for Clicks and Rapid. Global spots, first place spots, top 5. There's so much up for grabs here in this game alone, as now Acorn and Bolts have the high ground. Peterbot all by himself, still trying to find his elimination. He needs it on the crates to stay alive, and the siphon is just seconds too late. Peterbot will fall. We got Clicks and Rapid still up. Acorn and Bolt still up. Liam and Chase as well. Everybody else kind of full and intact with their teammate by their side.
The biggest mistake might be letting Clicks and Rapid actually get a little bit of HP. Curve here as a solo down low ground will become the siphon for 1. But no, Batman Booga is still in the game. He's moving, he's dancing, he knocks Clicks there, but Rapid gets the finish. Now, here comes the switch out for the meds, for the heals. This is the only thing that he actually can do here to try to stay in the game. Liam's still alive in the low ground. Acorn and Bolt's up top. It's all going to come down to actually how Rapid plays this up next.
Yeah, he's going to be the disruptor. If he attacks low, the high ground's going to drop. If he goes up, low ground's going to try to make a play. There goes the first down. Bolts actually takes down Liam. Back to back from Bolts right now, trying to save it. But Rapid is still healing off outside of the zone. It is going to be a 1v1, but as soon as that med kit stops, it is over. Bolts and Acorn, game 11, when it matters most, come out with a victory royale.
And not only that, they are definitely jumping their way towards that first place spot. Talk about taking advantage and staying consistent there. Zeke, game 11 is now over.
Oh,
Corey,
shit.
I need you to.
Oh, shit.
I
I'm
need you to
finna
just
consider
track
my-
with me here for a moment. We're watching this game, and we're all just like, this is the craziest game we've ever seen. And then Vivid, quiet.
Everpear's data management.
Oh, shit. Clicks might be 5th. 2nd place, not bad, chat. Clicks play really, really good. Really good, bro.
They're going to try and land and key them. I think land and key them. Because not only do they have to kill Acorn Bolt, they have to have a good game. And even if they take down Acorn Bolt, if they have a shit game, Richie beats them. So I think people are going to have to land Sinister and then key Acorn, maybe key Cold, or just trust they can get 30 more points than Cold after keying Acorn. Thoughts, chat? Thoughts? I think that's the play. I think that's what they're going to do. Land Sinister, key Acorn, then play the game out and just try to beat Cold on points. I think. I'm not sure. Where's Clicks? Wait, okay, Clicks is just inside land qual, but they have a 70-point lead. 70-point lead over Moneymaker, because Shadow's already land qualled. So the only people, the main people right now that can beat Clicks for the land qual is either Moneymaker or Queasy. It's 2 Europeans. Clicks holding it down. USA. Okay, and Rapids, Canada. NA. Oh shit, this is actually such a good game 12, dude. Oh my god, we're getting treated. We're actually getting treated.
Time and time again.
Holy.
But once we got down to the final 5 or 6 teams, they were
I love this
usually a
esport.
solo, and then eventually they would go down. But
I love
this
this
was
esport.
the game of duos. We had 4 duos.
There's Zeke's me right now. Zeke's me right now.
The most that we've had.
Yo,
as far as
Legendian,
duos
one
in
of the
final
goats.
NBA
Oh my god,
And of course, that
Legendian
is
swinging
when
by.
Acorn and Bolts shine the
What's up,
best.
homie?
Being able to control
You Keto with the
high
tier
ground.
one?
Yes, it did eventually come down to a 1v1, but Bolts is able to pull that out on top once again. Big shout out to Acorn and Bolts.
Holy, I'm
Better
actually so
late than
excited.
never for the victory royale.
No, so we're actually getting a who wins prediction going. Screw this. Who plays highest? Mickey bullshit.
I've just looked at the leaderboard.
Who wins, chat? Who wins?
I've just looked at the leaderboard.
Acorn Bolts.
You are not going to believe this.
Ritual Cold.
Let's go ahead. Bring up
Pete
those
Poyer.
leaderboards.
Muzz Rise.
So sorry. I know.
Someone else.
No, listen, we got to.
All right, chat. 5 minutes. Who wins the tournament?
You need to come back though. Okay.
Clicks with the land call too.
We'll see you. We'll see you in just 3 3 minutes, okay? Just hang tight.
Chat, I know there's a lot of places to watch Fortnite right now. I appreciate you joining me. Been doing this for 8 years. I still get so excited every time. Thanks for bringing the good ass vibes and joining me. This is going to be a very, very good finish. I'm excited, man. I am excited. Holy. Nope. I need better vibes than that. Yup. W. Dude, this is going to be such a good finish. Look at this leaderboard, man. 1 game to go. I think that's the play, chat. I think that's the play that Pete goes for. He lands Sinister. He's Acorn. Maybe Keys Cold, but I think he always plays the game out. Because at that point, if he gets 2 kills, that's 8.
Damn.
That's 5-17. That's only 20 points behind Cold and Richie. I think he just plays it out at that point. I don't think he's going to trust a 60-point lead, but he's going to trust a 20-point difference. I think that's it, chat. Thoughts? Yes or no? Do you agree with me? Yes or no? I think that's it. They're going to see it coming too. The worst part is as well, the craziest part is, this isn't like EU, right? On EU, for Sky and Scroll to win, they just had to make Shark and Teeny lose, right? When they keyed them. Acorn can't do that. If Acorn tries to change up his strategy for Surge, or he tries to just box up if Pete keys him, if he throws his game, Ritual Cold can overtake, but with 30 points. So he has to beat Pete Poyo. He can't just box up and just hide like Sky and Scroll did. He still needs to have a decent game, because Cold can overtake him and Muzz can overtake him. Shit, Higgs could overtake him with a good enough game. Dude, this is so good, actually. Like, excitement-wise, holy fuck. This is actually so ridiculous.
Where's Higgs at?
Dude, I don't even know, man. This is so ridiculous. This is about to be so damn good. Ew. Best finals? Yeah, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Money lands on clicks for the qual? Oh shit, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Oh shit, you're not wrong. He definitely does. Or he lurks on him. Oh my god, this finals about I'm actually so excited, but I'm kind of sick. Oh, this is gonna be a ridiculous game 12. Dude, you're not even wrong. Money's in 12, Shadow's already land qualled. If he drops like what, there's not even any money on the line, right? Like what's the the money's nothing compared to the land qual. Okay, he makes like an extra $500 or maybe 1,000. The max he can make each is like an extra 1,000 or maybe lose 1,000 compared to getting land qual. I swear that's worth the risk. He goes for it for sure. Ooh. I mean, yeah, dude. Well, I'm excited to say the least. This is about to be a ridiculous game 12 for so many reasons.
Welcome back to the FNCS. This is a perfect.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous too. I'm nervous too. I really am.
We're going into the final game of Major number 2. Okay, we're looking, fighting for Acts of Champions. You come out in first place. Prize money if you trade places and start to move up the leaderboard. The higher you move, the higher more money you make. We're also looking for one of 6 spots for the Global Championship, which we knew going into
Chat, Clicks knows. Clicks is not easy to win. Chat, Clicks knows. Rapid definitely knows too.
Because we already have previously qualified duos.
Trust me, they know, bro. They know.
10.
Lunex definitely knows too.
So right now, Clicks and Rapid are holding on to the one of those, essentially the 6th and final spot of placement. Kelly, and then I look at the top 4, and all of these teams could very well, in this final game, look to fight for that number 1 spot.
Oh, well, Zeke, if you say number 1 spot, then I'm a little biased to talk about Peterbot and Poyo. You know, they yesterday ended the day off in the first spot, and I think a lot of us were expecting for them to continue that snowball today, but a few hitches in their plan, maybe a few eliminations. However, in this game, we finally start to see them pick things back up, start to show that they are here to win. They've already qualified. They don't need to worry about the global championships, but it is Peterbot and Poyo.
No, chat, I had to urinate because I'm too excited.
Place. If anyone is ignoring the qualification spots, ignoring the money, it is this duo right here.
The crazy thing about Peterbot and Poyo's performance so far across these 11 games, and this is
I'm
going to be
nervous.
crazy.
I'm nervous for Clicks,
They
bro.
have yet to get a double
my
like a
God,
double
so
digit
nervous.
elimination game. Yeah, they don't even have a single.
Fadeaway Jumper!
Dude, I am so nervous for
I'm eating the chocolate bar.
You scared the fuck out of me, bitch.
I'm eating chocolate bar. Do I look funny?
Yes. You look like a monkey.
I do not look like a monkey. I look like a clown.
Oh, you do. You look like a clown. You look like your mom or dad. Why did you not close the door?
Pollo to get the final win, but also for Cold and Ritual to finally get a victory royale. See, there's too many storylines. There's too many players that we need to talk about right now. We have so many players that are on the edge of qualification that have already made it into the global championships. Kingling and Golden now being in 8th and 9th place just adds so many more question marks. And because Clicks and Rapid are in 10th, they're in the bubble, but Shadow and Virgo are on the 11th place who have already qualified. So now it's literally up to Moneymaker and F9 or Victor V and Queasy. It's literally up to EU to stop Clicks and Rapid from going to the global championships. What is happening?
Why does it always happen like this, guys? Why is it?
I mean, NA, right? NA, man. Yeah, they're just so good. But this is great for Clicks and Rapid. I mean, when we kind of came into these grand finals, we kept talking about how Clicks is feeling confident. And listen, day number 1, without a doubt, was rough for these guys. But they have figured something out here in day number 2. I want everybody to kind of remember this number, 440 points. I mean, listen, Clicks and Rapid, right now as it currently stands, they are in that global qualification range. But take a look at these standings, because if you look up just a couple of placements on the leaderboard, like let's go ahead and shoot for 5th here, right? Iggs and Carter, 47 points actually separate 10th and 5th place right now. Now, obviously, Clicks and Rapid, on their mind right now is qualifying the globals, but they could really prove something here in this grand finals. I do want to go ahead and mention that page number 2 that Kelly was kind of talking about, so that way we can kind of get the visual on this, because 440 points, right? That is kind of that qualification range. Take a look at it. Kelly mentioned it. Shadow and Virgo already qualified to globals, right? They can't technically knock anybody out, but Moneymaker fine, looking for that spot. Victor V and Queasy looking for that spot. Then we look at Reet and Cooper. I mean, they're so far behind. Boogan and Braids, they're so far behind. I think those guys are just too far away from that 440 point threshold. So the question is, guys, Victor V and Queasy, Moneymaker and F9, can they have a game that is good enough to break that 440 point threshold, assuming that Clicks and Rapid are just going to get 0 points, which you could probably guarantee is not going to happen.
This is so crazy. This is absolutely insane on NA right now. We are about to enter the final game. Fortnite fam, follow along. Like Vivid said, 440 is that, bro. Just keep thinking about that number. Time you tune in to Clicks and Rapid, think about that number. Anytime you see someone like be eliminated and have to solo clutch, they're fighting for their lives. This is it. If someone goes down, they cannot get any more points. The last time in major number 2. Casters, over to you.
This is truly it, Monster. The last go around, the last game of the day, and the last hope anybody has to either win the tournament, qualify for the global championship, or just win a buttload of that money.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of everything as well along the way, but right now I'm looking at the qualification requirements to globals. Clicks and Rapid are holding that thin line, and then the race for top. I mean, we are surely in for a treat here soon.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm looking at Moneymaker and F9. These are the guys that have been lurking around so many different POIs. They've been getting key eliminations, keeping them in the race. With the last game of the day ready, Moneymaker and F9, what do you got?
Well, Game 12 is here. What a grand finals weekend it has been. Looking at how things have played out, if you are Moneymaker and F9 and you're thinking about the commitment you have made to travel to NA, how much does qualifying to globals means to you? If it's everything you're here to do, well, you have to contest Clicks and Rapid, because if they get any further away from you, it's going to be mathematically impossible for you to close that gap. So that is the question. Then on the other side, you have, of course, the race for first place. Acorn and Bolts have put the biggest target on their back, as they are now at 570 and in the lead.
Nope, just a huge gap to overcome, but no moneymaker for Nyan. Not necessarily landed on Clicks and Rapids. Same strategy that they had in that last game over towards Golden Grove. They didn't necessarily lurk over to take the fight. They went elsewhere, kind of what they're doing now, but they have way more attention in this game that they did have in that last one. Bugha and Braids trying to push them away from Golden Grove.
Yeah, I like that play from Bugha and Braids. Obviously, there's a lot right on the lines for them, but now Quick and Avari, you know, they've kind of had their own little bits of back and forth with Fanina Moneymaker. Fanina Moneymaker getting a little piece of their own medicine there. Unfortunately, now getting collapsed on between the two teams, and everyone knows exactly what duo that was. Bugha Braids happy with their initial loadout and the spoils of war that they earned from this. They're actually going to keep pushing.
I mean, we were talking about, you know, it's just much harder, improbable for it happening. But Bugha and Braids, it's going to need a miracle, maybe even two. But maybe the 20, 30 eliminations, one of those crash games that we do see right now. They already have 2 eliminations here and a couple more teams in the distance that they continue this streak on.
Well, this is really interesting. If they start off hot like that and can pick up about 6 or so eliminations, you know, we were trying to think about what would it take. You need to effectively win that game and just ball out on the lobby. It's a very difficult thing to do, but we have seen it.
Over 20 eliminations. I don't know the exact number, but I just did a little bit of quick math. Over 20 eliminations with a victory from it's definitely possible, but it's not just Moneymaker and Fanine that they have to take down. It's Clicks and Rapid. It's Josh Iamzo. It's those players above them inside of that bubble that also need a spot. He actually picks up another elimination onto Alongo. Braids does go down, so they're actually going to go for a double res on either side. But again, they're just keeping the train rolling. They're giving themselves a chance. It might be a hard one, but they are up for the fight.
At the end of the day, this is what I can respect. This is what I think the entire community can most definitely respect. You put it all on the line and you play for that win. Take a look at this. Peterbot, though. Of course, King, whatever he can down right now. This is going to be gunning down Webster here. Very nice pickup for him. Good set of eliminations. Webster already did the farm for him. And, of course, the extra damage as well. The new team's pushing in. It's actually Curly's doing it.
Curly's doing a good job of pushing Peterbot back, taking away those piece control, forcing him into a whole nother going down. And since Bochi is still here moving around, they can't even shift focus on over to see how many players are still here. And he's going to use that monster. He's going to use this as a moment to finally disengage. But without too many white heals, he is on a clock.
And remember, he's earned a couple more points. So for anyone who's trying to push onto the heels of Clicks and Rapid, these points are the worst case scenario for you. And now Clicks gets to sit in the distance. He still has that med kit. He's got a little bit more to work with. And he can comfortably rotate here. What a turn of events there, Jacob.
Oh my god, Clicks is fucking good.
That's all I can really say after watching all that shakeout is wow. This is some of the best Fortnite we've seen Clicks play in such a long time. Don't let the position on the lead.
Oh my god, god damn.
The Millers love.
Holy fuck, I need to do this thing. What is Faxi saying?
Oh, keep the head in this. Alabongo and Boji have heard enough noise. They're making their way on over, and this could. They need some of that pressure. Contract shots.
Give her some
options. Is missing a couple of shots here, but he is still keeping the head in this fight. He's playing.
No, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. On everything doesn't count. What? This counts here. This counts. What do we do here, Fax? Right? No.
He actually gets bailed out.
That doesn't. Battle with bullet. You know.
Long time. Don't.
Yo, Kelly, keep.
Visuals to look through.
Playing this great, though. He's playing this great.
On a us that they're probably looking to stick around for quite a while.
Alright, let's see.
There goes. They're trying to burst into the box. 2v1.
Oh, nice clicks! Come on, Clicks. When the third party's coming in, that could save Clicks. That could make the other team have to run. Wait, Clicks hide, please. Just Clicks know they're coming. Clicks know they're lurking. Wait, Boji will kill Contract here.
He's been using this chug the entire time to keep himself topped off, so one shot or a move like this doesn't take him down.
No, but Clicks is gonna be on the high ground. He might get third. Go Clicks.
Misses that first
Go
shot.
Clicks. Oh my god, he's doing it. Go Clicks.
They keep him
Come on.
rapid in contention. That first down.
Come on, Clicks. Even just like 2 kills is 8 points. That alone is so much. Come on. Come on. No, Boji's about to third party. Boji's on top of him, bro. Boji locked in. Boji, no. Come on. Yes. Okay, wait. Do they push though? They might not. They might stop pushing. No, they're still pushing. He has to win another 1v2. Oh my.
Bang.
And trying to get one of those priority positions where they're near one of the buildings, elevated
Place
up
is
so they
good,
can't
right?
get snuck down low towards
Oh
the
my
bottom.
fucking god, Clicks is good.
Must be nice having a nice little lead coming into the
Click-
game. Pulling
Clicks is good as
zones.
fuck.
Getting there early.
I respect
rotates,
this guy.
Bolts and Acorn
Put some
are
respect on
just doing
Clicks,
it right
bro.
now.
He
How many
is
wins
so
is this for
good.
Acorn at this point? He is starting to really rack them up.
It's definitely one of the better IGLs that we have in the history of Fortnite. He had a streak of winning major ones. That one, once again, got stopped here. But we can go ahead and make up for it with a major 2 victory, especially for Bolts coming on over from NA West. Before Central became one region, Bolts won the last FNCS on West, came over, had multiple top placings like we saw on day 1 with Kelly, Vivid, and Zeke breaking it down. Bolts is just that guy. You pair him with one of the greats, these are the results you will see. Muzz and Rise looking good. You can kind of see a decent amount of our players at the top side of the leaderboard have no real contention at this side of the game.
Well, here's our next team that's looking to fall their way to globals. Queasy and Victor V, they have the damage, but I think they will need a win. I think they will also need over 10 elims, and more importantly, they will have to stomp out Josh, Yabzo, or Clicks and Rapid, and that is no easy task right now.
I will say, though, the blessings are in their favor. You see where the zone is at? Not too far away from their actual POI. They're 300 above the damage threshold. So while Storm Surge pops, other players going to probably trade off shots in the distance, get close quarters, box-to-box type fights. They have created themselves a distance away from everybody else and potential danger. So it shouldn't necessarily be a problem, or at least not for now. We'll see where the zone continues to flow. And again, Monster, it's working in Queasy and Victor V's favor as we move towards the north.
Wait, did we ever get that update with Clicks? Did he actually make it? I don't even know at this point. Because remember, he is the line as well. Last we saw him, he was deep in the storm trying to rotate. On the other side, though, look at Bolts and Acorn making these very fast rotates. They're wasting no time. They're putting everything on the line, using these shockwaves early, make it to the half and half out.
Damn.
Meanwhile, Muzz and Rise are down. The championship run has come to a close, and we wanted to see them do well. They came so close there, Jacob, but in the end, 3rd place is where they sit now.
Yep, gotta be happy that you kind of essentially qualified for the global championship. But, you know, you're so close to the win. It all depends on how you look at it. And we know how these competitors are. If they're not first, they're last, or at least that's what they have in their minds. But maybe tomorrow they'll begin to celebrate. Clicks does get Rapid. This is the update you were looking for. I know he had the reboot off, but I was questioning the material. I was questioning the loadout. I don't know where this key leads, but I'm sure it is long gone behind him because he was carrying that. He was at the sanctuary.
He's got it, though. It's in his pocket. That's all that matters. Hopefully it brings him a little bit of luck right now. Well, 27 as far as the remaining duos in the game. 26 now. Placement points are going to start being given out here shortly. Yamzo, Josh still cooking here on the low ground. For Yamzo and Josh at this point, it's a fight for the dollar signs as they're earning their way closer and closer through. Globals is only getting more and more interesting as you start looking at who is going to be earning their qual spots now.
Just trying trying to go ahead and get that next money placement. Every placement, as you were saying, even alluding to, is just more and more money. They're past the pockets and into the individuals. So it's Cold, Ritual. They're not just fighting for money, still fighting for that first place spot. I see a lot shaking out cross in the distance, and they're just trying to disrupt it just a little bit, enough so they can continue to progress with their surge. And you're kind of seeing the check-in from multiple teams around the lobby. Clicks and Rapids still looking strong, and now we've reached the meat and the potatoes, which is those placement points. They've gotten 2 so far, which isn't many, but the longer Clicks and Rapids stay in this game, the more chances of it becoming mathematically impossible for anybody else.
Yeah, that's right. I did see Victor and Queasy still rotating through. Remember, they need a win at this point, and they are playing for the high ground. But if Clicks and Rapid are still standing, that win condition is out of the window. Curve, Batman, Booga trying to fight for a top 3 spot. Can they overtake Peterbot and Muzz's position? For Ritual and Cold, it's a race to maintain first place here and win this entire tournament.
Nobody said it was going to be smooth sailing. 50 below the damage threshold, gets worse, falls to 67, but they're not necessarily losing focus. They know what it feels like to be below surge, the back of zone, so they're trying to take it one step at a time. Get towards the front, open up that window, and look back, and that's how they're going to try to get those numbers. Victor V and Queasy up above. It's just something they're not going to have to deal with here. 6 players need to go down. Storm Surge will turn off, but they're immediately targeting Taki out from the outside. He's taking storm damage and eventually damage from Vic.
This is what they need. Clicks falls on the rotate. 24, 41 below. Couple players still have to fall here.
Nice.
Rapid needs to jump in. He gets Tyler. 4 more points for Rapid and Clicks, keeping the tournament dream alive. 55 above now. That's going to alleviate a little bit of pressure. Rapid gets to clutch this one out by himself now. A little bit of lobby focus, though, as he's in the ultimate low ground. But look at high ground. Position up. Victor and Queasy need to start finding eliminations before the lobby thins itself out.
Yeah, that's going to be the most important thing, because win is not going to be enough. Because Bolts, Acorn, they find themselves their first elimination of this game. 4 more points there as Rapid and Clicks go down. 23rd place. All eyes on Queasy and Victor V. They are the ones that are next up.
You're the ones that can potentially fall if they can win the game and pull through. But first, you gotta get through all the other teams. Veno, Ager still standing now. Take a look at who's alive. You see Ritual and Cold here, finding their first elimination. Finally, they're also starting to close the gap. But if you want the championship run, you need to do more. And Cold and Ritual are starting to do it.
Find another elimination, taking apart Golden and Ozone. The materials, even though it might be few, it's plenty for them in this situation. But it might go too soon. They bleed through the fields. Ritual goes down. Cold thinks about the decision for the revive, but more spray comes their way. He has to abandon ship. And now if he wants to win this FNCS, it's going to be as a solo.
That was to the hands of Curve there. Meanwhile, a fight for high ground. Batman, Booga, Curve coming through. Higgs and Curve want to do it. They're putting it all on the line. Barely any maps to work with. Bolt's holding on here. Bolt is also a solo. That means that the points are going to get even more condensed now. But Cold is still in this. Does Cold want it more than Bolt? Can he outperform him here and now and overtake him by 30-plus points? Who's going to be the first to fall? Who's going to be one step closer winning the championship? First, though, Bolt with a monster shot there. Gets the knock shortly afterwards. Jacob is close.
Yeah, Bolt goes down outside of the top 10. Cold can still win this. Placement points alone without getting another elimination, but you can see the struggle he's going through. Even Bolt's on the other side has to figure out a way down, but Cold is going to get eliminated, and that is going to be it. Bolts and Acorn are your FNCS Major 2 champions. Even with 0 builds left, you can see he wants to win this game because winning is not enough. He wants to be the best in the world, and there goes a big elimination onto Vert. He is not done just yet.
Way to put the icing on the cake. Bolts really flexing what he is capable of. The adrenaline's running. Another knock for good measure. And just like that, the highlight reel starts to rack up. Meanwhile, Veno Ager is fighting for more placement points, more eliminations, more points for the money and the dollar signs here at the end of the day. Ager's playing the tree. He's got plenty to work with. What a tournament so far it has been.
No, it definitely has. And for Veno and Agers, they can overtake Higgs and Curve. They can overtake Peterbot and Boyo. They can maybe overtake Muzz and Rise. So they're still fighting for a potential top 3 spot here in the finals. BMJ from the backside out of Chug. Chug has to go forward. Good amount of damage onto Veno, trying to cut their momentum short. But Agers trying to save the day. He gets the elimination, bringing it down to our final 2v2 situation where Robs and QK are going to be the ones down below. They're trying to strike, not give them time to heal. There goes the first knock, so it's all up to Agers. There's a 9-point difference just for the win, and it's not going to go their way. But Robs and QK out of nowhere win the last game of the day.
Nice job for them to go ahead and just pad the stats and finish off their tournament well. But at the end of the day, Jacob, it was a fight for first place there. And it looks like we have our champions. Congratulations there to everyone that competed. Zeke, that's going to be it from us.
Jacob, PR, MDF, fantastic set of games, fantastic cast. Oh my gosh. Of course, Kelly, of course, this comes down to a solo clutch of Cold versus a solo clutch of Bolts. And of course, Fortnite is and does what it does. Acorn and Bolts, though, coming out on top. I can't believe it. And as our casters called out, Bolts going for those moments, making sure he is trying to prove he is the best in the world. Congratulations, Acorn and Bolts, your Major 2 champions.
We saw in day number 1 just how consistent they were, getting an average placement of 7 over the whole 6 games we saw from day number 1.
He's 19, right?
Placed above 5th place.
Bolts is 19.
And then as we started day number 2, Acorn and Bolts looked like they started a little slow, not necessarily bad. But of course, it was the penultimate game where they grabbed their victory royale and 7 eliminations, and that really is where things just took off. We knew as soon as all these other top teams were starting to go down, and we saw the solo clutch coming out of our big players, that this was our Major 2 winners right here. Huge shout outs to Bolts and Acorn. Was it really a doubt in anyone's mind, Vivid?
Definitely were some doubts out there. I mean, not a lot of people were kind of throwing Acorn and Bolts into the conversation. Of course, we had some of the favorites like Peterbot and probably up there to go ahead and win this FNCS. But yeah, you mentioned it, the consistency from Acorn and Bolts on the back foot of all of the clutches, all of the solo clutch points that they were able to pick up as a team. I mean, we entered game number 12 and Acorn and Bolts were already on the number upwards of 140 solo clutch points, making up a large portion of the total 617 that they were able to pick up over the course of 12 games. And Acorn and Bolts, man, I mean, for Acorn himself, of course, got to be solidified now as, if not the greatest, one of the greatest IGLs in the game, and do it alongside Bolts. I mean, these guys, they got to be ecstatic.
We got to turn attention to these leaderboards. All right, we can't forget, obviously, congratulations to them. Want to give them the props, the flowers that they deserve. But we can't forget, we also have 6 spots going to the global championship. We saw Clix and Rapid in that game go crazy situation where Clix had to solo clutch and then fight to reboot Rapid, who then has to solo clutch a little bit further on. I'm blown away. Today's games were phenomenal.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, Clix, obviously here in game number 12, I think when everything was all said and done, because we saw Queasy and Victor V and Moneymaker and F9 kind of go down early in this game, Clix staying alive here would not have ended up mattering on the leaderboard. But I mean, just the mechanical prowess that he was able to bring out. I mean, we were watching this live and I was like, looking at the edits that Clix was hitting. Not only was he hitting like hard edits, like some of the ramp flips and everything like that, but he just like didn't miss an edit, right? So when the pressure was on, when he started to feel that his global qualification was potentially slipping away, he did not falter. Now listen, Clix and Rapid, they're going to walk away with 12th place in this FNCS, but they were so close to placing so much higher. And I mean, Kelly, they got to be proud about this one.
I mean, Vivid, you say that game didn't necessarily matter to the leaderboard because of how everything went, but I think that meant so much to Clix and his community. We saw how day saw kind of the emotions that was impacting Clix, and we have known for years now a player like Clix can be and how that can affect his games. So to see him be able to recover for day number 2, and then in the final game where literally it all matters to what he does, how he is able to not only handle being contested, but also a triple part or a third party and then fourth party.
Let's go, Clicks.
Welcome to Battle
Chat, big Clicks, bro. Big fucking Clicks, man. You did it. Clicks is the GOAT, chat. Clicks is the real GOAT right here. Clicks is the real GOAT. Clicks is the real GOAT. Oh my god, look at him.
You know, we sat here for like the past month.
Shit.
I've been in Dallas for like a month now. We've just been
Look
in
at him,
Dallas,
chat.
just grinding every day. Just
Oh
doing
my
our
god,
best.
look at him.
With the help of God, you know.
My presence
pulled
turned out too bad.
He deserves it so much, bro. That guy Bolt's like such a grinder, man. He played amazing.
Bro.
So shout out him, man. He's now a 2X, and now I'm a 5.
Ooh, damn. Yo, good old
Alright.
Bolts, man. Wait, is that my game that's just doing the buildings? Oh, sorry, I thought it was him for a second, chat. He's got stairs building in the background.
That's
my
crazy.
bad. Sorry, chat.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you guys want to watch the reaction?
Oh, yes.
This might have been my
yes.
calmest like win reaction ever. I was just so relieved.
I told you. What'd you tell me?
Where's your shout out?
About what? I picked Akon to win. What do you mean you told me?
Shout out Kanata, man. Shout out my boy Kanaj. Shout out Papa V. Without them, I don't know if we could have pulled it through. So
Wait, Pops? Pops
Shout
getting the
out
shout
my
out.
guys.
W
Thank
Pops.
you, Skrill. Congrats as well, bro.
Wait, then, what did you tell me?
Who would have thought, man?
Oh,
I
about
really
Golden
haven't even
Ozone,
saved
maybe?
Anything. I've just been like so locked in. You guys could just tell. I've just been keeping to myself, just locking in the past like 2 weeks, but it was worth it, man.
Damn, dude.
Why bro so calm like nothing happened? If
Crazy.
that was me,
Five-
I would
five
be
times enough.
shaking. Holy shit.
It's gonna feel so weird. I feel like it would never sink in right away, right?
Bro's so calm.
Check
Check stats. We'll check that in a second, chat. We'll check stats in a second. I'm gonna call Clicks.
Bro's like he
Alright,
just,
chat, we'll call
he
Clicks. We'll
just
call
win
Clicks.
a ranked game. Like, bro.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, my predictions weren't too bad there, chat, but I'm shocked by that. So, like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and brag about it too much. Y'all, let's go.
That's good, dude.
Mr. CEO,
Oh my
good shit,
God.
bro. You did it. I'm sure, like,
Dude.
are we happy or are we
my
just
fucking god,
we relieved?
bro? We were second today.
Were you
we were
actually?
second before that last game. Yeah, bro.
Actually, you were. I
We
mean,
were
that
second
last
before that last game. I mean, bro, this is the thing, dude. I don't think anybody deals with the shit that I deal with. I don't give a fuck, bro. We got landed on 4 games out of 12 stealing our left buildings, bro. Did Broadcast see that?
No, not really, no. We didn't watch
Dude.
you too much. I'm sorry, dude.
My building was taken by Iamzo. My other buildings were taken by fucking randos. We had the middle. We were fucking, dude, it was the craziest shit in the world.
Today was good. You guys played good as fuck. And you the back-to-back 1v2. The 1v2 kill and then the 1v2 run, that was clean, bro. That was very clean. Oh, wait,
but
wait,
fuck,
Paul's still in the
man.
interview? Oh, sorry, chat. Paul's in the broadcast. Sorry, please.
Oh,
I mean,
shit.
I can imagine
see.
it feels good, especially
I'm
getting the
confident. I'm
victory
happy for him, though,
royale
bro.
on the second to last game. Walk me through those moments. What was going on through the comms? When did you guys know that you had the win?
Ooh, good question.
We knew we had the win when Acorn looked up at height and saw there was no builds on it. He was like, just shock up. We shocked up. We only had like 200-300 wood. And then from there, we just
Bolts.
were shooting down on everyone, eliminating everyone. And then it
Oh,
came a little closer
shit,
than I
Mr.
thought. It did
Aura.
have the 1v2, but they were both low, thankfully. So I'm glad we could close that win out.
Chat, who cares about making it better? There's one FNCS. Shut up.
Speaking to Acorn a plethora of times, but not many times we've.
I'm proud of Bolt,
Started
man.
playing with Acorn.
I watched
didn't really
this
have
guy
that much
was-
knowledge
bro,
on
Bolts
how
is
to play
crazy.
endgame properly or even
His
mid-game
mechs
rotates. But then just
are
over
good.
playing with him, it honestly just taught me so much about the game.
No.
That
And
guy is so
it,
good.
it's really interesting to see how a player can play so consistent and just like very hidden to all the other players. Like many other players, they need to get elims to make it far in the game. But for us, with our game plan, with Acorn's eyes yelling, the way he tarps, the way he shockwaves us, we're just there. We don't need a refresh because he's just him.
Damn. Bro, they're both glazing each other. I love that.
So you're giving Acorn the flowers. We got to give you the flowers, Bolts. I mean,
Thank
how
you.
does it feel to walk away with this win, with this title? For you as a player, where do you feel like you are at right now?
Ooh.
Right now, I would say a lot of people underestimate me, and I'm glad that winning now, I think I'll get more recognition about that.
Mhm.
I think I saw a stat where I was 10 FNCSs now in a row. I've gotten top 10,
Yup.
which compared to other people, I think it was like only 3 people, and I think people really underestimate my ability to frag and just be there to support my teammate.
I mean, what's
Yeah,
crazy about
fair.
that stat, and that was all Vivid stats, but to think that you were able to do it also in a LAN setting, that is really what
With
makes the
Brycex,
difference,
yeah.
is that regardless of if you're at home or if you're on the big stage, you always perform. But Bolts, for me, speaking of performing, you guys have a big performance coming up for the Global Championships, and we already know that you guys
And
are
the
going
EWC,
there.
right?
So what is kind of the training grounds looking like leading up to that?
He's got EWC
I
first.
would say we're not really going to change much else when it comes to our training. Like for me, all I do, I really just I Kovacs, I aim train, I do a lot of creative. I've been playing, just with a lot of pros and stuff. And for Acorn, he's always in the VODs, he's always learning. So I would say there's not really much we have to change. We just have to keep up the grind and not get too complacent.
Ooh.
Yeah, incredible work, Bolts. I mean, listen, we also kind of want to know
You guys say
how you was
tokens?
kind of break down. Was any teams out there that you feel like was kind of giving you some troubles throughout all 12 of these games that you want to give some flowers to as well, or do you feel like it was just all you guys?
No, I'll give some flowers to Rise and Muzz. Honestly, crazy performance out of them. I wasn't expecting that. It never really came in our playbook to really try to make a play on them to overtake them because we were just really confident.
Yeah,
super well spoken.
Dude, you guys absolutely.
Which is funny because everyone always makes fun of him being awkward when he's in calls and stuff. He's just
100%
chill.
agree with you. I feel like you are underrated. You are underestimated, and I don't understand why. And I hope that this win will finally clear the air for so many of these people that look on you with those feelings, because like they should absolutely be putting respect on your name. For the fans out there that maybe have never seen you before and they want to follow you, where can they follow you on social
Shout out to
media?
Twitch, Bolts, do it.
So on YouTube, it'll be Bolts1x. On Twitter, it'll be Bolts1x also. And then on Twitch, it is BoltsFN.
W. There's now
I
Bolts
love that.
2X.
Listen, Bolts, congratulations. Give a big congratulations to Acorn for us as well. We cannot wait to see more of you guys in the future. And again, just a massive congratulations to you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Great interview, man. Jeez.
Oh,
W Bolts, man.
Congratulations again.
Did they play good? Did you watch? Have you paid that much attention to anything that happened? So you've head downs on your thing, right?
No, bro. I'm low-key sad that Verizon didn't win. I thought we were gonna get the oldest fucking FNCS
I
win.
mean, did you see what happened in the last game though? I don't know how much it would have mattered.
Yeah.
Like, it did look like they died to Storm anyway, but yeah. I mean, it was also Pete made a play on them in game 9. I don't know if you saw it. Pete, like Muzz was on the gas station and Pete literally got loot, insta-keyed him and killed him, and then found Rise and killed him. So like,
Wow.
yeah, they got Peter Boy.
Wow.
Yeah, and that kind of messed up their rhythm at that point. It looks like. Which game was that again, Chad? Which game was that? That was game 10. Yeah. So in game 10, they went down in 41st, and then it was 23rd, 32nd. So like you can see the exact game Pete went after them, and then it just went down, bro. I mean, damn. Richie Calder almost did it too. Richie Calder almost brought it back. Dude, I'm so shocked. Did you think Moneymaker was gonna land on you last game, or like try and kill you?
Yeah, I thought he was.
He landed over on Booga. He landed Grove. I think he was going to try and get some loot and then lurk on you guys. Like, there's no way they
Who
weren't.
Who landed on us?
Did you get landed on game 12?
Bro, Ozzy, I got landed on fucking 3 games.
Wait, what?
It's so weird, but when I don't stream, nobody knows shit.
Yeah, we didn't see.
Yeah, dude.
We didn't see. I have no clue. The
Oh, it's
broadcast
because I
didn't
wanted
show you
to,
that much.
huh?
Wait, was it Booty or someone else? Queasy? Yeah, chat, the Queasy tweet. Chat, this is just Queasy. Like, chat, what do you want from me?
I mean,
Who's
he's not
that
getting
man
any
for colluding
fans,
first?
but I'm not gonna lie. Who colluded?
Yeah.
That's in top 10.
I don't know. He's going to suggest, like, I think, wasn't it EWC last time, chat? Wasn't it live at the end of EWC last time? Queasy was saying, like, check who was wearing the same skin and stuff. Like, I remember that happening. I think, like, I don't know. I think Queasy's, I don't even know, chat. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes. But, like, unless I see, like, an actual thing, chat, there's just, we'll see. If Queasy comes out with some evidence. What's collusion when teams teaming, basically, chat. He's insinuating the people in this lobby of teams. So we'll see. Damn. That was a good ass grand slam, man. Are you guys happy about you happy with the lane call, or is it kind of like, obviously you wanted more?
Dude, I wanted to get top 5 at the end there.
You guys were on pace to doing it. That game 2. Okay, what changed so much on day 2? Like, why was day 2 so much better?
I didn't stream.
Think so? You really think it's that much?
It's not that much on me, but like Rapid's the best player in the fucking game. Literally the best player in the fucking game. But transparently, bro, the stream is terrible. Like for like certain players when they have never played on stream before.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's really fucking mean, bro. Like people, like at least from what I think. From what I think.
That's fair. There's extra pressure, even though like it's funny because on the broadcast and stuff. Like I would imagine that he can like.
I mean, so much pressure. It's fucking. But also, it's like the clicks calm, bro. Like, I mean, you fucking saw that shit. I mean, it's bad, bro. Like, it is bad. So it's like transparently, that was definitely like, I think the issue because we actually had a shot of doing really fucking well.
Well, at least globals. There's no streaming for globals, right? Or at least like you might not. I don't know if your plan is. I know you can stream from the stage and stuff. I don't know if you're doing that again.
Oh yeah. Now globals, bro. Globals will be prepped. And also, it's our first season, bro. Dude, I'm not even joking. Rap is the best player, like smartest fucking player to touch the game, bro. Literally, dude. It was just it was a tough grades.
Okay, now I have to clear the air here. Rapid day one, a little bit. Did he enjoy himself a little bit, or?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Shit, bro. Shit, dude. Honestly, bro, it happens. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I might have, yeah.
Okay. In case you don't know, by the way, I'm talking about the accusations he got high. By the way, I'm not saying he's soft.
So I had cookies in the counter, and it was for after grands because that's usually like how I relax. And he ate a cookie the night before. It had like 50 grams. So he woke up and he was fucking still high from the night before. And I didn't tell him I should. I'm not gonna lie, but dude, I'm just clearing the air, bro. Like I was just, he's gonna get mad at me, but
didn't they just literally make weed illegal in your state?
No. It's illegal if you like if you eat it, it's not illegal now. But also, we were in Mexico. If it is.
Okay, I was really hoping you could clear this up because kids have been like talking about the last 24 hours. I was really hoping you could like come in and like make sure everyone really knew the truth.
I am trolling, but it's not my.
Chat, what do you mean you were wrong? There's no way you believe chat. I'm not kidding. If you believe the original thing or what Clicks just said, I'm not kidding. Get off the internet. This is not a safe space for you. If you're believing this, it's genuinely not a safe space for you. Please.
I'm not gonna lie. I can't speak for him, bro. But because I don't know. Like whenever he fucking hops on. Like, because I'm not gonna speak for him. I mean, bro, it's fucking, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like playing off stream and then playing with someone who like the comm cares about. I mean, bro, they're hostile. Like I love my comm and I like them being like that, but not when it's friendly fire. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard because you're used to it. But like if it's a teammate that can't handle it, it's kind of hard. But I get it. It's hard to. It's kind of hard to. As were 2 Elam 8th, 5 Elam 2nd, 2 Elam 5th, 2 Elam 24th, then 7 Elam 2nd. So you had 4 amazing games on day 2.
Yeah, that's winnable.
Oh yeah, what happened with the tab out? Did he straight up tab out, or like that one? Obviously, he didn't tab out. He just
no. It was nah. He was taking a sip of water.
Oh, that's bad timing. So he just took a sip of water and just got double sprayed.
It was the worst timing ever, bro. Like it was literally like the worst timing to drink water.
I mean, his wall was like
I was even
3/4 built as well. Like it's
but now it's never gonna happen again because we have a rule where no matter what, we calm when we drink water, so we hold each other.
Actually.
Yeah. The rest of the tourney, I literally calmed when I was drinking water to hold my walls.
I mean, do you calm the glasses though? I mean, did you take your hands off your keyboard so much?
Okay, Aussie, but
the rag.
Okay, that has never harmed me, bro.
No, it has. No, it has. No, it never has. Not.
Like I'm strategic when I do it, and also it's like a 0.5 millisecond.
No,
like
okay,
do it when it's impossible.
But the sweat towel, though, the water towel, surely has that ever gotten you killed? Because that is like a good couple seconds when you do that. Like when you pick up the towel and stuff, like that is a little while. The glass is like a 0.1 second thing. Yeah.
The towel, I only do it like when I haven't really touched it that much. I mean,
okay.
I probably don't even know, but
okay.
No, I don't think maybe. I mean, I used to do when we're in full box metal, and I usually like
I don't know how many died to storm.
You know what I'm saying?
Died to storm. I mean, no, to be fair, okay, yeah, everyone was saying that in Game 6. Like, everyone was like, bro, you sold so bad. Like, you maybe should have noticed the floor being edited, but I swear, that wasn't that bad. Everyone was
like, bro, the chat's fucking stupid. Bro, you didn't even watch the whole thing. I died on the road today.
No, I watched it again today. I watched it again today. Yeah, I watched it again today.
If I followed Rapid, everyone, this is what it is. People see everything in hindsight.
Yeah, no,
dude. If I followed Rapid right there on 70 HP, I'm fucking dead. I'd rather take the risk of sitting in zone, popping a full chug. But yeah, I didn't see it. That was bad. I was looking at my left footsteps.
Yeah. At the same time, though, I mean, like you just said, if you imagine you went in on 70 HP and then you died to 70 HP, they'd be like, fucking play Storm, you dumbass. Why is Clicks not playing Storm, man? Like, it's hindsight, bro. You already know.
Dude, everything's always hindsight, bro. Everything's always hindsight.
Did you watch EU at all? Did you keep on EU or just?
Yeah, bro. Scotch is a fucking. They're legends. I'm not gonna lie.
They're looking crazy. Like I don't know. I guess today is still exciting for NA, but dude, Cold Ozen came first today, man. Dude, Lena did tell me. I don't know. I want to see how NA does at LAN though. I want to see how does this make chat? Are we scared for NA at LAN? Did anyone look like Sky and Scroll level good today? Or I guess it's just NA though, right? You got Pete coming after you and shit. You change the strategies. I don't know. We'll see. Sky and Scroll got to be looking good. Wait, Frosty just won on both regions. I just realized. What the fuck?
Yeah, bro. Dude, it's fucking god POI. Center map.
It is a good
Dude,
POI.
okay.
It's a good POI.
I'm gonna say it's on my stream too, bro. But there needs. Okay, this is not go. Okay, this is not go. I hope you agree with me, bro. Dude, the bias zones depending on certain updates and collabs is fucking. I would never have chosen this POI if I knew that 10 out of 12 zones were pulling max, bro.
No, that's fair.
Come on, dude.
No, the backward zones. My chat's been talking about it. Don't worry. If anyone says cope right now, chat, we have all been talking about this. You can't call clicks cope now. We said it. I said it before the grand started. We've been talking about the whole time the grand's been playing. It's been a lot of backward zones. Come on, chat. Come on.
I mean, bro, you saw the fucking the map.
Imps now? Where is it?
We should be able to have better games. That's us, but it does make it a little bit more difficult, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. No, for sure. I mean, I think Reed was complaining about it a lot last night because he's got 2 giant surge baits when he rotates into it. And Reed sent me this photo saying that these are the 4 best drops for this Grands. And I mean, this was the top 4. This was the top 4. So it's
yeah, what happened to Peter? Why did they do bad?
So last game, Pete decided not to go for Acorn, which I thought was super strange. Didn't go for Acorn. He went for the Mythic AR, and then Curly and Tyler just keyed him. They third-partied him. He killed Webster, and then they third-partied and they killed him. They just straight 2v2. No, chat, I want NA.
Yeah,
I want NA
why
match.
did he even get put in that position?
He kicked for the AR. So he went southwest for the AR.
I'm saying why is he even in that shitty of a position placement wise? Why was he low? How did they underperform?
Wait, actually, how's the last game? So they were high. Actually, chat, why was people on Toy's last few games? So here's their match history. So they got, I can't remember the game stats. So they got 41st here. Then there was 13th. Yeah, 13th, 28th, 5th.
They played really, really bad.
8th.
Not that bad, but...
Yeah, so Moneymaker lurked on him in game 8. He was in their tunnels. Moneymaker killed him in game 8 and Poyo went down. So they had a game 8 0-point game. That messed him up a bunch. Dude, Moneymaker Moneymaker did not make friends today, bro.
He's so good, dude.
He
actually is so good.
He went after Booger too. He's lurked on. He gave Hold a 0-point game, Booger a 0-point game, and Peter 0-point game. So my man. Oh, here you go. Oh, Kickstarter did have it. Sorry, chat. I thought he only did EU. That's my bad. Oh, this is combined? This is EU and NA combined? I mean, yeah.
I mean, bro, in the game where holding us, remember that game? That was the forbidden water.
Yeah,
that was when the Rapid drank the water.
No. I know. I think this was today. No, this was today, bro. This is today. You guys died to Surge this game. That's why I was kind of shocked. Yeah.
No. We never died to Surge. We never died to Surge.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh,
we didn't get tagged once the whole game. Oh, fuck. Oh,
I dare you to leave your room, you little skinny dog.
Yo.
Because Pete keyed Rise that one game. Oh, shit. Oh, they died to Storm. That's right. It was Storm Sickness. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was Storm Sickness. It was kind of weird because you guys had...
Oh, no, we didn't die to Storm Sickness.
You sure?
We fucking... Yeah, I know. It was ridiculous, bro. Bro, we got lobby sprayed for 2 minutes, and then we ran back and don't pop chugs.
Republic Services' science-based practices provide the foundation for sustainability success. From compliance...
You've ever seen in your life. That's some creative shit, I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, Higgs did well today, too. Higgs and Curtman 4th. They did pretty solid. I know that kind of kids are probably going to make that sound bad against you, but they played well.
No, bro. I mean, dude, they're a good duo.
Yeah, I'm proud of them. They played well. Their zones were decent. Their zones were decent.
King D. All right.
Wonky Storm Sickness death? Wonky Storm Sickness
death.
Oh, yeah, the wheel. Yeah, that game was, that was bad, bro. Seeing you, it felt like a flashback, bro. That was painful to watch. Yeah, that was painful to watch. You guys Rapid sold it. Yeah, I think there's nothing else to say about that. Rapid just sold it. They tried to go up, and then it was too late, and that was just fucked up. No, chat, not Elven Road, chat. I am not giving nothing but Veno premium gas. This motherfucker is Grand Thanos. Veno is amazing. Triple con latte to then get third. I mean, he obviously unconned on day 2 halfway through, but that's because he did so well spawn. That placement is insane. Veno is one of the favorites coming into LAN, for sure, if he can just get a drop somewhat unconned. They're looking really good for globals. First and third, back-to-back FNCSs, one of them triple con. Veno is amazing. This season has not been good for Veno, but that Grand's 100% flips the script, man. He's changed it up, for sure. You watching West? You gonna go live for West or anything?
I'm gonna go drive my fucking Ferrari as fast as possible, and we'll go get dinner, dude.
Yeah, respect. Good shit, bro. Enjoy.
Dumb.
See you,
dude. I love you, bro.
Love you too, bro.
Hope you have a great night, dude.
You too, man. You too. Good shit. Oh my God. Everyone chat. Yeah. That's fair. Can't flex. Oh, that's fair. Fair. All right, well. I'll see if Mr. Higgins wants to. Let's see if Higgins ready to go. Let me see.
Recently, I've been looking, but I think it's been on fire.
Let me see, Higgs.
Oh,
We watching NA West, Mr. Tier 1 Grands IGL. I gotta butter him up a bit. Butter him up a little bit, you know. Blood was coaching Rise and Muzz. He was. Yeah, he was. Rise and Muzz, and Kamihari, and then Clicks too. Thank you, Joe, with the Prime. I can do Muzz too. Okay, what do I say to Muzz chat? How do I make Muzz feel good? Yo, we watching West, NA Central. Fuck. It's kind of like Muzz is great. I don't say like, what do I like? Fuck. Oh shit! Wait. Oh shit! Muzz responding. Nothing will make me feel good. I want to see the world burn. I pray that we all get nuked. We don't deserve to live. Oh. Okay, so I think that's a no from Muzz chat. Okay, so Muzz probably not joining us.
No, we don't. He ain't doing shit. I promise you. That's how they know it.
Yeah. Well,
100%. They said that shit.
The Ashton, the Nov, the Joe, the Reed with the 76.
Go.
Thank you, Frank, Altos, Nola. What's up, Nola? Billy Grant
is until after West.
Bro, there's no way.
Okay, it was a good day. It was a good day, chat. I'm gonna end here. Today was a good day. I'm gonna watch. I could stay here for West a little bit, but I don't know yet, chat. I might. Yeah, guys. I have to end here. I'm gonna end here. I'm gonna watch West. You know, I'm gonna watch West after that. There's Fact City. Fact City is playing West, so yeah, I will be watching West. I could stay live for a few minutes or so. After that, I might end. I've been live for 4 freaking hours. 4 hours. But unfortunately, I have to end here. I'm not gonna live for a few minutes. But today's event was really, really good and excited. Congratulations to both and Acorn. They played really well. I watched both. Like, I watch him like for a long time. I watch both. You know, unfortunately, he banned me, so I cannot watch him anymore. Both banned me. His mods banned me, so I cannot watch him. But congratulations to Acorn and both. They played really well. But unfortunately, Peter Bot got 7, I'm pretty sure. 7 or 6, something like that. But yeah, Peter Bot played really well. Clicks played really well. Everyone played really well. Vino going crazy. Man, I have Vino to finish top 3 in globals. Okay, that's my prediction for globals. I got Acorn and Bolts to finish top 5. Vino and Agers to finish top 5, like top 3. I feel like Vino and Agers will get top 3. Bolts and Acorn, I have them to finish top 5. And Clayton Rapid, I have them to finish top 15 because I don't know. Clay's my favorite top 3. I mean top 15 for sure, but I have Clay's to finish top 15 because I don't know. Every time Clay's playing globals, he always do really, really bad. That's why I put Clay's in the top 15. I may be Clay's fan, but yeah, Clay's played really well today. If Clay's keep going crazy, he might have a chance to win a FNCS and globals. Okay, he might have a chance to get top 5 or win globals. You know, Place is playing good. Rapid day 1 was not looking great. Peterbot not looking great in day 1, but Pollo always here to solo clutch and shit. But I feel like Peterbot will play well. He doesn't care. He got six times FNCS. Peterbot don't care. Acorn now have 5 times FNCS. Congratulations to Acorn. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect them to win the global. I mean the grand final. I have Peterbot and Pollo to win the grand final, but also hold on. And also, congratulations to Buzz and Rise, man. I didn't expect them to keep, doing this good.
Oh, I need DPs. Oh, these people have A-bots.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna end you guys. So yeah, I'm gonna end here. I'm gonna watch West. I'm gonna watch all the antics. I might watch Jacob F. I might watch Jacob MVP. Let me check if he's live for any West. Okay, he's not live right now. Alright, he's not live right now. Jacob MVP, he's not live right now. So I might just wait a little bit. He is a good. That's his YouTube channel if you want to watch. Any West.
The FNCS heat stages were out of this world. We had literally the hardest heat in Fortnite history go down. The Battle of Peter
Go watch West.
versus
That's his
Benelit
YouTube channel.
Angers, which didn't actually happen on NA West.
That's his YouTube channel. He live for that's my W casting, bro. He's a good caster, bro. If you want to go watch West, go watch him on YouTube. He will be live later, Jack. He will be live later for NA West. So yeah, bye guys. I'm gonna end here. I will see y'all tomorrow for Roblox stream. I will be live tomorrow for Roblox stream. So, yeah. Bye. There, guys. Make sure y'all use only one code. It's code DJ Plays 7. DJ Plays 7 in the other shop. Okay, guys. Bye, guys. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye, guys. Have a great day.